rattlesnake.
Hello, ladies.
Val Venis set for action, and again, Stone Cold Steve Austin is being held in a San Jose Medical Center undergoing observation. Doctors want to reevaluate the tests. So tomorrow night on Raw, we will have an update on this serious situation involving Stone Cold Steve Austin. A blackout after a match earlier today in San Jose.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Introducing the challenger from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 244 pounds, Val Venis.
Well, apparently Stone Cold has been suffering from severe headaches and dizziness all week long, but he didn't tell anybody. That's the rattlesnake way. And we'll have more on the Austin situation tomorrow night on Raw.
Weighing in at 243 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion and the world's most dangerous man, Shamrock.
So Ken Shamrock set to defend the corporate Intercontinental Championship against Val Venis, and Shamrock will be in action tomorrow night on Raw as well. Here's a quick cover by Val Venis, hook of the leg and a kick out.
Nice crossbody by Val Venis as Shamrock gets his customary quick start here. Shamrock, the new corporate Intercontinental Champion, and a nice move by Shamrock. Shamrock and the Big Boss Man will meet Mankind tomorrow night in a triple threat match. If you catch my drift, it's no more than an execution sentence by Mr. McMahon on Mankind. Oh, what a spine buster. 2 men versus 1. It's no more than a handicap match. It's not a triple threat match. It could be the last time we ever see Mankind. That'll be tomorrow night on Raw. And I guarantee you, Michael, if Mankind goes down, he'll go down in a blaze of glory.
And here's Shamrock, reversal now. Venis, oh my, into the corner with authority and follows it up with a clothesline. Again, JR, the question is, why? Why did Shamrock join the corporate team?
Oh, what a belly-to-belly suplex. This may be all. And a cover. Well, I think Shamrock joined the corporate team because McMahon found out Shamrock's sensitivities, his weaknesses. We have a lot in common. We are both raised in broken homes, and we can be your family. Give me a break. McMahon exploits anybody and everybody that he can.
Shamrock now in control, and speaking of Mr. McMahon, tomorrow night on Raw, he is going to announce who the new commissioner of the World Wrestling Federation is. Big news earlier tonight on Heat that Commissioner Slaughter is stepping down, and in Mr. McMahon's words, an impartial commissioner will be named tomorrow night on Raw.
And you got to wonder who that may be. Could it be Shane McMahon? Could it be one of McMahon's associates? Could it be, how about Ken Starr? He's going to be looking for work soon. Or maybe even, hey, how about Governor Jesse Ventura? I guarantee you Ventura wouldn't be a yes man. He's the only guy with a bigger ego than Vince.
And Shamrock kicks out after 2. This, folks, is for the Intercontinental Championship. Ken Shamrock versus Val Venis. Shamrock into the corner, and there's the knee to the midsection as Val tries to take the wind out of the world's most dangerous man.
Great opportunity here for Val Venis on Sunday Night Heat. And a side Russian leg sweep. Val Venis unintimidated by this animal, Ken Shamrock. And now Val, I don't agree with this. Val Venis is wasting time here. He's got Shamrock's shoulders down. You go for the cover. You don't bump and grind.
And now he's arguing with the referee as Shamrock slowly climbs to his feet. And look at this now, great maneuver by Shamrock.
What a leg whip by Shamrock. Looking for that ankle lock submission, and it'll be all right here. Unless Val Venis can get to the ropes. He can't hold on. Hey, wait a minute. There's Mankind with the leaf blower.
And the leaf blower's on. Oh, from behind.
Mankind assaulting Shamrock. And here comes the Big Boss Man. And the Boss Man just drove that nightstick right into the kidneys of Mankind. And then look at the Boss Man. He's trying to dismember Mankind before tomorrow night.
Nightstick to the throat by Boss Man, and here's the double team. Shamrock has the leaf blower to the midsection.
The corporate Intercontinental Champion, the corporate enforcer, are attempting to destroy Mankind once and for all.
What is going to happen tomorrow night on Raw in the triple threat match? And WWF Championship, not Boss Man tonight, forget it.
Your ass better call somebody.
Wish I could call my dad, actually.
Road Dogg on his way to the ring, our second championship match of the night. The Road Dogg defending the Intercontinental Championship, which he won last Monday on Raw. A lot of people say a huge upset over Val Venis.
Oh, again.
The but my damn nose is in the way.
You gotta give props where props is due, Kevin Kelly. Now, the Road Dogg is the Intercontinental Champion, and that is a very difficult feat to accomplish.
Cut my music. You see, my mama always told me if you're scared, say you're scared. Well, right now I'm a little scared, but Shamrock, this is my belt. My friend, you can't have it. Let's kick it doggy style. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Intercontinental Champion of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and I represent the New Age. If you ain't down with the D-O-double-G in this belt, I got 2 words for you.
Very honest reaction from the Road Dogg. He knows taking on Shamrock will be a very tall test here. The Intercontinental title on the line.
Come on, Ken, that's it. Bring home that corporate gold one more time. That is truly where the Intercontinental title belongs. Around the waist, the svelte waist, I might add, of Ken Shamrock.
Shamrock was unsuccessful in trying to put a halt to the Big Boss Man Rock contest, which will happen later on here in the hour.
No, that match can't happen. Let's go, Ken. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Pump up time. Pump up one time. Take on the Road Dogg.
Shamrock knows how important it is for the corporation to stay united. That apparently is... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, never mind. That's it, Ken. Get right to business. The IC title on the line.
The former champion Shamrock looking to win the gold here and to take it to WrestleMania next Sunday on pay-per-view. And Shane, with all the action so far in the hour, I forgot to ask you.
Come on, Ken.
Everything that went down with The Undertaker and your family last Monday on Raw, is everything okay?
Hey, I was having such a good time here. Just leave it alone, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean,
here we go. Come on, Ken.
It had to have been unnerving being 3,000 miles away from home and witnessing what was...
I'm going to cut you off right here. It's personal. I don't want to talk to you.
All right, Shane.
That's it.
Hook of the... wait a minute now. Lateral press, 2 count only. The Road Dogg.
And now you put me in a bad mood.
Getting back on the offensive advantage now, at least attempting to. He's got to try to find a way to contain Shamrock. Keep him from snapping, and by all means, stay out of that ankle lock submission. Wait a minute. Caught. Power slam. Hook of the leg 2. No, sir.
Loving it, Ken. I'm loving it. Beautiful. Corporate gold coming home. Yeah, we're going to add another one. Excellent, excellent. Go, Kenny. Shoot him off. Oh, mercy. Did you see that?
Yeah, but you got corporation problems.
Yeah, whatever.
The Rock and the Boss Man later on tonight.
No. We're going to take care. Hopefully, we're going to take care of that. Okay, this can't happen.
One thing that definitely is happening is the WrestleMania Rage Party.
Oh!
Live on USA the night before WrestleMania, 10/9 Central. Hook.
2.
Oh, wait a minute. Near fall there from Ken Shamrock. What a party it's going to be. Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Isaac Hayes, Big Punisher, and a whole lot more. A huge party the night before WrestleMania. The WrestleMania Rage Party. Live on USA.
Yeah, the Meat Street Posse will be at the Rage Party.
No.
Oh, yeah, you know it. Big pun. Big shout out to Big Pun.
Road Dogg.
Oh, no, come on, Ken. Come on. Oh, no.
Wait a minute. Val Venis hits the ring. The man who was defeated by the Road Dogg last Monday on Raw.
No, Val, you're ruining it. You ruined it for Shamrock. Oh, you ruined it for Shamrock. Get him, Ken. Oh, no.
Now Goldust hits the ring. Goldust hits Shamrock.
Come on, Ken.
Val, Goldust, and Shamrock all part of the 4-corner elimination match at WrestleMania. And I guess Road Dogg's taking up the fight for his partner, Billy Gunn.
Oh, this is out of control. Come on, Ken. Get in there.
Only element missing is Ryan Shamrock.
Come on, baby. Come on, Ken. Oh, yeah, that's it. Now, world's most dangerous man with a little offense. You got Road Dogg and Val. That's it, Ken. Destroy Goldust. Oh, what should be? Oh. Blue Meanie is now black and Blue Meanie. Let's go, Ken.
This volatile situation will culminate at WrestleMania 15 next Sunday on pay-per-view.
We're back live on Sunday Night Heat from the sold-out Nassau Coliseum. They've been called the golden couple of the WWF, Jeff Jarrett and Deborah.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring, being accompanied by the World Wrestling Federation Women's Champion Deborah from the great state of Tennessee. Weighing in at 241 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Jeff Jarrett.
So the Intercontinental Championship on the line here live on Sunday Night Heat. Jeff Jarrett to defend against Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry. And folks, tonight, Sunday Night Heat is brought to you by Skittles Light-Size Candy. Taste the rainbow of fruit flavor.
And by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
And by WWF The Music Volume 3. Hear the original entrance theme songs of your favorite WWF superstars, now available at Hastings, your entertainment superstore, and other fine retailers.
I've never seen Deborah look more lovely than she does tonight.
And the challenger being accompanied to the ring by Ivory and D'Lo Brown from Silsbee, Texas, weighing in at 400 pounds, Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry.
It was last week on Raw. Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown caught in an embarrassing moment in one of the most private of moments. Take a look.
Listen. You can't help but laugh at that, but certainly Mark Henry, a little bit embarrassed there by GTV. We don't know how that tape got to our truck. We don't know who provided it to us.
What
either.
is GTV?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, anyway, Jeff Jarrett now Intercontinental title on the line. Early advantage against Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry. And the 400-pounder whips Jarrett into the corner, misses with the elbow. And listen to the crowd here at Nassau Coliseum. Oh! What a clothesline by Mark Henry, folks, to keep you updated. What a needed night it's been on Sunday Night Heat so far. Stone Cold Steve Austin has arrived, and he is on a rampage.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, with the knowledge of who the greater power is, Michael, is lashing out. We saw him attack Droz, Prince Albert, WWF officials. He seems to be on a rampage tonight, and who knows what else Austin has on his agenda.
And look at Mark Henry now, tremendous strength on Jeff Jarrett.
Plus, we've also seen the Road Dogg and the Big Show advance into the King of the Ring tournament, and the Brood sent out a very strong message to the new tag team champions, the Acolytes, with a bloodbath.
Jeff Jarrett now climbing to the top rope, the 400-pounder Mark Henry on his feet. He's in La-La land now. Here comes Jarrett, crossbody into the lateral press. Here's the cover now. There's two and a kick out.
Didn't hook the leg, not going to hold 400 pounds down like that.
And you were talking about the greater power. After what we saw this past week on Raw and the look on Austin's face, I thought it was Shane McMahon. But at that point in time, I believe it can't be Shane McMahon. Stone Cold was too surprised.
And Michael, that's where the speculation begins. Of course, it could still be Shane McMahon, but all week long on WWF.com, it has been one of the most hotly contested debates, one of the most asked questions ever in WWF history. Some of the names, good Lord, some of the names that have been thrown out as far as who the greater power could be, absolutely shocking.
Yeah, one of the names, and I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
What a leg drop by Mark Henry.
A lot of history with Austin. And a lot of history with The Undertaker. They're chanting, "We want puppies." I think we're going to get them.
And Deborah into the ring, and Ivory's going after her, folks.
I think Ivory's got a puppy problem.
Wait a minute. Maybe Ivory likes cats. She's going after Deborah now.
Choking her with the...
Wait a minute. It's the rattlesnake. What the hell is Stone Cold doing here? Stunner on Henry. Look out! D'Lo going for the stunner.
Good, great.
And look at Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett hightailing it out of town. Jeff Jarrett on his horse, riding out of the Coliseum.
Austin's looking for that greater power. He could get him here tonight.
Jeff Jarrett, Deborah in the ring, the golden couple, as Jeff Jarrett gets set now to defend the Intercontinental title. Folks, Super Soaker proudly presents the 1999 King of the Ring, live in just 2 weeks, June 27th from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Super Soaker, charge it, pump it, soak it.
And the challenger representing the Union, weighing in at 282 pounds, Test.
We saw Jeff Jarrett with a rather interesting reaction towards Test a little earlier on. Maybe this is another piece of the puzzle, Michael. Maybe Jeff Jarrett is indeed in league with Mr. McMahon. We know Mr. McMahon was irate at Test for asking out his daughter Stephanie. Perhaps Jarrett's reaction is a direct order from Mr. McMahon. We can only speculate.
And you know what I find funny? Mr. McMahon has made millions and millions of dollars over the years with these WWF superstars being the prime athletes that they are. But the fact that his own daughter went out on a date with a wrestler, that is like the lowest of the low for Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, but maybe Mr. McMahon gets his wish, according to Test earlier on, who apparently conducted himself as a gentleman on this date. It seems that he and Stephanie are going to remain just friends, a strictly platonic relationship.
Intercontinental title on the line now. Test the challenger, sets up Jarrett, sidewalk slam, hook of the leg. There's two. Jarrett gets the shoulder up.
You have to wonder if this was a wise move for Jeff Jarrett, accepting Test challenge. He's giving up a lot of size, and certainly Jarrett has had his problems with Ken Shamrock as of late.
Cover by Test, kick out after two. It was Shamrock who eliminated Jeff Jarrett from the King of the Ring qualifying part of the tournament. And then it was Jarrett responding with a guitar to the head of Shamrock.
And adding to the distraction factor for Jeff Jarrett is also Deborah's popularity. The crowd loves her. They love to chant, "We want puppies." In fact, we've heard it a couple of times already here. And you heard earlier on in JR's interview with Jeff Jarrett, it seems that the Intercontinental Champion is becoming consumed with jealousy over Deborah.
Cover after the side Russian leg sweep. There's two, and Test kicks out.
And look at the way he's reacting towards referee Harvey Whippleman. Jeff Jarrett is not the same.
WWF Intercontinental title is on the line. A more aggressive Jeff Jarrett hammering away at Test.
Boy, still to come. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in that tag team action. 4 King of the Ring qualifiers battle on opposite sides. Mr. Ass and Chyna team up to take on Ken Shamrock and the Road Dogg.
Jarrett now backed into the ropes. Here's the reversal. Test off the ropes, misses with the right hand. Oh, what a boot to the face by Test. That big tag team matchup you're talking about, set up by the new CEO of the WWF, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You got a feeling that there are many changes on the horizon with Stone Cold in control. Oh, wait a minute.
Test drop kicked into referee Harvey Whippleman that time, who's knocked down.
Boy, the point of Test's elbow went right into Whippleman's head.
Wait a minute now. That's Ken Shamrock. Referee's knocked out. Shamrock with the right hand. Belly to belly on Jarrett.
The world's most dangerous man promised revenge, and he has delivered.
He rolls Test over on Jarrett. Referee coming to. Shamrock's got the referee. Look at this. Here's two. We got a new Intercontinental Champion. Test with the assist by Shamrock.
And the new World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Test.
And Deborah is livid.
Oh, what an upset. Test with the assist from Ken Shamrock. Victorious. And Test is the new Intercontinental Champion.
Test wins gold, and wait a minute, there's referee Timmy White explaining what happened.
Referee Tim White is telling Harvey Whippleman about Ken Shamrock's interference. But Harvey didn't see it. His official decision is going to stand. Test is the champion.
Wait a minute now.
What's she saying to him?
Deborah whispering in Harvey's ear. What was that all about? Wait a minute.
Oh, you're kidding me.
He gave the belt back to Jarrett. Obviously, he's reversed his decision.
Well, it's a decision that he should have made all along. Ken Shamrock did interfere, but he had to hear it from Deborah whispering sweet.
So as Jeff Jarrett gets set to defend the Intercontinental title, Stephanie McMahon calling Test by his real name, Andrew.
You don't think she calls him Test when they go out on dates, do you?
Stephanie McMahon saying it's nobody's business, especially not her brother's, what she does in her personal life.
Must have been horrifying for her watching Test get beat down by her brother Shane and the Mean Street Posse last Monday on Raw.
And what about GTV? Who's behind that?
And the challenger weighing in at 282 pounds, Test.
And Kevin, it was last month on Heat, we thought Test won the Intercontinental title.
A little help from Ken Shamrock. We thought it'd taken Test to the cold, but Deborah's charms in Harvey Whippleman's dense ear allowed the referee to reverse the decision, awarding the title back to Jeff Jarrett.
And how ironic is it that tonight on Sunday Night Heat, Test gets his rematch just 6 days after suffering a concussion at the hands of the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, you don't think Shane McMahon had anything to do with that ironic bit of timing?
And here we go now, Jeff Jarrett and Test, Intercontinental Championship on the line, elbow by Test, quick roll over, here's the cover and a kick out. Folks, this place is rocking, and if you think we're rocking here on Sunday Night Heat tonight, how about Tuesday, July 13th, Lexington, Kentucky, Rupp Arena for Raw is War. Here's a cover by Test and a kick out. Also a huge event next Sunday, live, Indianapolis, Market Square Arena, Sunday Night Heat. Test rolls over, Jeff Jarrett, and a kick out again.
Man, oh man, Test is being very aggressive and going right after the champion. You can't win the title, Michael, if you don't pin his shoulders.
Oh my! Sidewalk slam by Test, another hook of the leg, and another kick out.
Jarrett doing the smart thing, rolling out of bounds.
And Jeff Jarrett saying he's taking a hike. See you later. He's taking Deborah with him.
Michael, who is behind this GTV? We've seen the McMahons. They were embarrassed by this twice in 2 days. First at King of the Ring, and then, of course, the following night with Stephanie and Test outside of a hotel.
And look at Jeff Jarrett now playing possum, pulls Test out of the ring. That's a good question, Kevin. GTV in the beginning started out as a joke, a lot of ha-ha with some of the superstars in the WWF, but now GTV has taken a more serious turn. The stakes are a little bit higher because it involves the McMahon family.
Well, and it's also gotten every WWF superstar to start watching their backs and making sure whenever they enter a room, keep an eye out for the GTV camera.
I don't know about you, but I walk around back in the locker room area, I watch what I do.
Absolutely.
And here's Jeff Jarrett now, second rope. There's the clothesline on Test, and the champion now all cooking on all cylinders. And Jarrett now hammering away on Test.
You got to know, Michael, that Shane McMahon heard the words of his sister, Stephanie, and you have to know that Shane and the Mean Street Posse will not stop their pursuit of Test as long as he and Stephanie McMahon are dating.
And Deborah looking on outside the ring as Jeff Jarrett now backs Test into the ropes. Intercontinental Championship on the line. Here's Jarrett after the reversal, and what a boot by the 6'6" Test.
Jarrett referring to himself as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and certainly a victory here over Test would further that claim.
And Jarrett now knocked outside the ring. Test hammering away. Big right hands by Test.
Great crowd on hand this week as always.
Jarrett to wait a minute. Who's Test talking to? Hey, that's Joey Adams from the Main Street Posse. And Test has had about enough of the posse. Referee calls for the bell here. And look at Test hammering away on Joey Adams.
Oh, wait a minute.
Pete Gas, Rodney.
These guys are like street thugs.
Jeff Jarrett retains the Intercontinental title, but the story here, another run-in with Test in the posse.
And you know that Shane McMahon is behind these guys. He's behind the Mean Street Posse, and they're attacking of Test.
Pete Gas there sending a warning to Test. This one is far from... Folks, you think it's hot on the East Coast? It's hot here on Sunday Night Heat. Here comes Deborah and the Intercontinental Champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling
Well, Kevin, this past week on Raw, Jeff Jarrett was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He was on the receiving end of a rude greeting, courtesy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And certainly, Jarrett has had a bitter taste in his mouth all week long, Michael, courtesy of the Rattlesnake.
And there she is, the lovely Deborah, accompanying the Intercontinental Champion to the ring. Huge matchup tonight on Sunday Night Heat. Jarrett and the Road Dogg.
What is this, a damn kennel? No more puppies until you people start showing me the proper respect. I am the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, whether you like it or not.
Well, that's what he says.
Now, as far as Stone Cold Steve Austin goes, Austin, don't even think about gunning for my belt after you lose yours at Fully Loaded. 'Cause, son, I ain't no redneck from Texas. I'm a champion, a true champion, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
huge matchup next Sunday on pay-per-view and Fully Loaded.
It's me. It's that D-O-double-G.
But tonight, he has a chance to win the Intercontinental Championship.
And it sounds to me like Jeff Jarrett's focus and thoughts are on Stone Cold Steve Austin and not on the Road Dogg. You think Jarrett believes that The Undertaker is the favorite for next Sunday's first blood match, The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I don't think Jarrett's alone in those thoughts.
Music. You know, I'm not in the market for a new dog, but I sure love looking at some puppies. And I want to welcome you all to the Dog House. Now then, let's get busy and kick this shiznit doggy style. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children.
Oh! Jeff Jarrett hammering away now on the Road Dogg, still in a foul move from what happened this past week. And look at Jarrett go.
Boy, oh boy, the burgeoning mean streak within the Intercontinental Champion. First jealous over Deborah's popularity, and now irate over Stone Cold stunning him last Monday on Raw.
And Jarrett now sleeper on the Road Dogg after Road Dogg came off the ropes. What a huge match for the Road Dogg next Sunday on pay-per-view. Oh my, there's the left hand. Road Dogg teams with X-Pac to take on Mr. Ass and Chyna. The rights to DX on the line.
Chyna and Mr. Ass, they want the money, Michael. Plain and simple. The royalties, the merchandise dollars from DX's name.
Cover now by Road Dogg. Deborah looks on. There's two, and Jarrett gets the shoulder up.
But X-Pac and the Road Dogg, they want the name for what it represents, the attitude. They don't care about the dollars and cents. They want what it means in the heart.
And here comes Road Dogg now up over the top, and Jeff Jarrett's in trouble. And look at Deborah on the apron. Puppies are out. The puppies are out. And Jeff Jarrett now with the Intercontinental Championship gold. Road Dogg, oh my! Jeff Jarrett just pulled referee Tim White in front of that shot by Road Dogg. And the referee's out. And the Road Dogg now, pump handle slam time.
New champion, new champion.
Hook of the leg, we should have a new champion here. Referee Mike Chioda down. And wait a minute.
Well, referee Mike Chioda apparently is going to disqualify Jeff Jarrett in Tim White's name.
And Mr. Ass! Mr. Ass is in! Hammer away now on Road Dogg! And oh, look out! There's Chyna, the ninth wonder of the world.
What has she got?
She's got a chain! She's got a steel chain! Oh, man! And Chyna and Mr. Ass.
Oh, Michael, look at this. We've seen this before.
Chyna hammering away on the Road Dogg.
Listen to that steel crack against his skull.
Here we go now. Look out. X-Pac. The cavalry's arrived. Oh, what a war it's going to be next Sunday. The rights to DX on the line. Chyna and Mr. Ass against X-Pac and Road Dogg.
Tell us what to do. Think you can tell us what to do.
It's a battle of money versus attitude, Michael, but it's DX to the core. It's a battle of pride and honor.
And that battle takes place next Sunday.
Hello, ladies.
We're kicking off Sunday Night Heat with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Val Venis versus D'Lo Brown, but that's not the only title that's going to be decided tonight live on Heat.
Michael, the tag team titles will also be up for grabs. The Acolytes will defend. We speculated all week long who Kane was going to choose as his tag team partner. It will be the Road Dogg.
Also tonight on Sunday Night Heat, The Undertaker, Mr. Ass, one-on-one.
Intercontinental Championship. In the ring, the challenger from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 244 pounds, Val Venis.
Val Venis with an opportunity to win the Intercontinental Championship tonight from the new title holder, D'Lo Brown.
Who knows what Val's going to say? We are live.
Hello, ladies. You know something, ladies? The Big Valboski is a lot like a Republican tax cut. You know, the harder you work, the less I'll pull out, and the more I'll pump back into your economy.
Nobody does it quite like Val Venis.
Here we go. So what you gonna do? And his opponent,
week on Raw is War that D'Lo Brown took a giant step, a dual champion after winning the Intercontinental Championship from Jeff Jarrett.
Michael, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and perhaps Jarrett's reliance on Deborah's puppies came back to bite him. Or maybe the way Jeff Jarrett says, perhaps the puppies helped bite him. Either way, D'Lo Brown is both the Intercontinental and the European champion. That is some rarefied air for D'Lo.
D'Lo and Val, Intercontinental title on the line. What a way to kick off Sunday Night Heat live from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
We weren't expecting this. Jeff Jarrett and Deborah on their way to ringside.
This has everybody perplexed, but it gives Val Venis an opportunity, an opening.
And Val Venis hammering away now on D'Lo Brown. Perhaps Jeff Jarrett wants to get a bird's eye view of this matchup. It was D'Lo who took the Intercontinental title away from Jeff Jarrett. Well,
the bird's eye appears to be here at the commentator's position. Jeff Jarrett and Deborah joining us.
What I want to talk about is it's been almost a week since I made my challenge to D'Lo Brown, and I've heard no response. But not only am I going to take my belt back, I'm going to take his coveted European title. And don't worry about the puppies. I've got them in my doghouse, and they're not coming out tonight.
Well, I know Deborah, probably it's been a very trying week for you, Deborah. I'd like to ask you
don't talk to Deborah. I've told her she's in her place. I set her straight. You know it, and I know it, the whole world. She's the reason that I'm not the Intercontinental Champion. But I'm going to set things straight as soon as I get my opportunity. D'Lo has to make a response.
Well, D'Lo Brown working on all cylinders, hammering away on Val Venis. Jeff, you once called yourself the self-proclaimed greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. However, D'Lo Brown, I guess, would be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time right now. He's working on
Michael,
Val.
you can talk an awful lot, but you have to back it up in the ring, and I can back it up.
Wait a minute, cover now. Here's Val 2. Oh, almost a 3 count, but a kick out by D'Lo. Val Venis now in control of D'Lo Brown. We're joined by Jeff Jarrett and Deborah at ringside. You asked for that rematch, Jeff.
I've heard no response, and there is absolutely there's no excuse for that.
Tremendous maneuver by Val, hook in the leg. There's
just
two
because Deborah was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't have my Intercontinental title belt around my waist. But that isn't my fault, it's Deborah's fault. Now how come I have to suffer the consequences? I should have my title shot, and I'm gonna get it one way or another.
But Jeff, give me a break. You gotta give D'Lo Brown some credit. I mean, he did take the Intercontinental Championship away from you on Raw.
Do I have to reiterate myself over and over and over? It was because of Deborah. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And nobody, I mean nobody, is going to get an opportunity at the IC belt. And I'm going to see to it. One way or another, I'm going to get it. Val Venis will not come out of this match as champion.
Jeff,
I'll see to it.
You're making a lot of excuses. Wait a minute. Well, Jeff Jarrett set it up. And Jeff Jarrett now in the ring. And he blindsides Val Venis, making sure that Val does not take the Intercontinental title away from D'Lo Brown.
While certainly nothing was decided between Val and D'Lo.
And here we go now.
Jarrett taking no chances, although he made a ton of excuses here. And D'Lo is letting the former greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time have it.
And Jeff Jarrett stepped in it, folks. Val Venis and D'Lo Brown doing a number on Jeff Jarrett. And Jarrett heading for higher ground with Deborah.
Jeff Jarrett blamed everybody but himself for the loss of the Intercontinental title, Michael.
And now D'Lo Brown and Val Venis in each other's faces. Jeff Jarrett and Deborah continue to argue.
Boy, what a night. You can just feel the energy here inside the Joe Louis Arena, Michael, and we've only started. We've only just begun here on Sunday Night Heat.
Sunday Night Heat coming to you live from Detroit, folks. Tag team titles will be on the line tonight. And we're back on Heat. Tremendous opportunity for Jeff Hardy as he meets Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental title on the line. This should be a high-flying, non-stop matchup.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Introducing the challenger, being accompanied by Matt Hardy from Cameron, North Carolina, weighing in at 217 pounds, Jeff Hardy.
BoneFree.com presents No Way Out live next Sunday Sunday at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut. PhoneFree.com. Free long-distance calls over the internet.
Michael, as we just talked about, Cactus Jack will take on Triple H for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. One of 4 title matches scheduled for next Sunday.
Break down the walls. What a treat for Heat. He's the Intercontinental Champion.
His opponent, being somebody in the ring by the 9th one of the world, Chyna. From Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 227 pounds. Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho.
A relationship based on mutual respect, but a relationship that's been paying dividends over the past few weeks. Jericho and Chyna.
You can tell that the arena is jam-packed full of Jerichoholics. And I promise you, Jeff Hardy, that when this match is through, you will never, ever be the same again.
Too much coffee.
You know, what does Chyna do for this contest? She truly changes the dynamic of Chris Jericho in his Intercontinental title defense.
Yeah, but Matt Hardy's on the other side of the ring to help out his brother Jeff. So it's going to be an interesting matchup as we kick things off in this Intercontinental title match. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy preparing for a huge match. Next Sunday at No Way Out, they take on Edge and Christian. The winners will be the #1 contenders for the tag team titles.
And keep in mind that the Hardys and Edge and Christian were part of the match of the year for 1999. They're going to write another great chapter of their history next Sunday at No Way Out. A true treat for the fans.
And Chris Jericho set to take on Kurt Angle next Sunday at No Way Out. The former Olympic champion not endearing himself to Chyna or Jericho this past week. Man, what a clothesline by Y2J.
Find it ironic that Angle's not putting his European title on the line.
Well, I mean, Kurt Angle's more interested in gaining gold than he is in defending it.
Keep in mind, he could be the Olympic gold medalist, the European champion, and the Intercontinental champion all at the same time.
Well, you know, he's yet to defend the European title since he's won it, and he's never defended the Olympic gold. And Jeff Hardy with a nice knockdown of Chris Jericho. Look out, Hardy's got to fight over the top rope, taking out Y2J.
One of the few times where I think Chris Jericho would be well served to slow the pace of this contest down. I think Jericho would have the mat wrestling advantage, but what else to take to the sky?
Jeff Hardy on the barricade. What a counter. Jericho caught Hardy in midair and slammed him outside the ring. Y2J is such a smart athlete.
We have seen Jeff Hardy with innovative offense before. Great scouting though from Y2J. Maybe Chyna had something to do with the scouting of that maneuver. Who knows?
Jeff Hardy's head bouncing off the steel steps at ringside, and Y2J's in control. Here's a cover now. There's 2 and a kick out by Jeff Hardy.
Well, Jeff Hardy can throw a real monkey wrench into next Sunday at No Way Out. You know Kurt Angle wants to take that Intercontinental title away from Y2J. If Hardy wins here tonight, everything would be up in the air for next Sunday.
And Y2J, crowd really behind Jericho as he defends the Intercontinental Championship. Jeff whipped across the ring. Here goes, what a leg sweep. Took out his legs, and Jericho at the bottom turnbuckle. Both of these athletes so quick. Jericho off the ropes. Oh, man, hung him up on the top rope. Jeff Hardy. Oh! Folks, we could have a new champion right here. Cover. There's 2. And Jericho gets the shoulder up before the count of 3.
Tense moments for the Intercontinental champion. Jeff Hardy now beginning to really open up the offense.
Jericho misses to the right hand. Jeff off the ropes. Look at this. Oh, no. He walked right into it. Jericho going for the walls of Jericho. Submission maneuver here. Jeff Hardy up on the apron, but he jumped down. And look out. Look at this.
Great maneuver by Matt. Matt Hardy jumping on the apron, brought Chyna to the apron, got the referee away from the action, and allowed Matt to pull brother Jeff to safety.
And I think Chris Jericho, oh man, Jeff just planted him. I think Chris Jericho was just admiring that maneuver by Matt Hardy. But look out, Jeff Hardy, top rope, set top bomb. We've got a new champion. Hooks the leg. Jeff Hardy's winning the Intercontinental. Wait a minute.
Turnabout fair play, Michael.
Chyna just yanked Jeff Hardy off Chris Jericho.
Matt and Chyna having words.
It's Divine Dollar. Ooh, he just wiped out Matt Hardy. And you know the Dudley boys have a serious issue with the Hardys, especially after what happened earlier tonight.
the Dudleys were talking about earlier on.
Well, the Dudleys won.
Chyna just popped Devon. And here comes Bubba Ray Dudley. Matt Hardy and Devon and Chyna fight up the ring. Bubba Ray's in the ring. Referee has no clue what's going on. Oh, no. Oh, the Bubba Cutter.
And Chris Jericho, can he take advantage? Chyna and Matt Hardy oblivious to the fact that Bubba Ray was in the ring.
Ooh,
Jericho caught it, hooks the leg. Chris Jericho retains the Intercontinental title, thanks, ironically, to Bubba Ray Dudley.
Devon was the decoy, Michael. I think Devon went down there to bait Chyna and Matt away from the apron so that Bubba Ray could come in and get his revenge on Jeff Hardy.
Bubba Ray tried to put Jacqueline through a table earlier on tonight before she was rescued by the Hardy Boys. The Dudley Boys get their revenge.
As sinister and as sick and sadistic as the Dudley Boys are, they are master manipulators.
Don't forget Raw's War, Georgia Dome tomorrow night. Tickets still available. 35,000 expected. We'll see you next week.
So, Michael, the stage is set for what promises to be a very intense, very physical war for the Intercontinental title here on Sunday Night Heat.
The contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making its way to the ring from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 233 pounds. He is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
Castro presents Backlash live Sunday, April 30th from the sold-out MCI Center in Washington, D.C. Castro, the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castro, drive hard.
And the challenger from Mobile, Alabama, weighing in at allegedly well over 400 pounds, Hardcore Holly.
And Michael, Hardcore Holly didn't just show up tonight here on Sunday Night Heat wanting to become the Intercontinental Champion. I talked to Hardcore Holly this past Thursday on Fight This on WWF.com. Hardcore Holly said that he is embarrassed by the fact that Chris Benoit is the Intercontinental Champion. He feels that Hardcore Holly is indeed the true big shot here in the World Wrestling Federation. He's going to make an example out of Benoit and take the gold from around the Radical's waist.
You were talking about intensity earlier, Kevin. I don't think there are two more intense individuals in the World Wrestling Federation than these two. They go about things a little differently. Hardcore Holly loves to run his mouth. Chris Benoit very, very quiet. But I'll tell you, these two will get it on here with the Intercontinental title on the line. Benoit called the Canadian Crippler, and of course, Hardcore Holly, self-proclaimed greatest hardcore champion of all time.
Boy, you can see it already. Oh, man. You know, there is so much gamesmanship within this contest. It's a real test of pride and who really is the strongest. Hardcore Holly's been in the World Wrestling Federation a long time, and he feels like he's not getting his just due.
Hardcore Holly hammering away on Chris Benoit. Benoit won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Hardcore Holly actually won the Hardcore title at WrestleMania, only to lose it to his cousin Crash the next night on Raw.
And Hardcore Holly right now is pounding away on Chris Benoit.
Holly whipped off the ropes. Ooh, nice shoulder takedown by Hardcore Holly. Former Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champion here in the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, and there is a lot of trash being talked. This crowd is on its feet. It's an electric atmosphere.
Kick to the midsection. What a chop. And another one by Benoit. Two individuals, tremendous shape for both of these men. Both very dedicated to their workouts, eating right, getting in the gym.
Yeah, they very much are mirror images of themselves, Michael, except for the trash talking. Benoit, you say, more quiet of the two. That certainly is the case.
Hardcore Holly with the first cover of the matchup and a kick out after two by Benoit, the champion. Be a great feather in the cap of Hardcore Holly if he could knock off Chris Benoit here.
Oh, man!
Oh, listen to that echo.
These guys are just having fun, lighting each other up.
Listen to these chops by Benoit and Holly.
Oh! They keep getting louder.
The two exchanging blows, and now Benoit with a kick to the gut.
Well, you got to figure whoever walks out of this contest as the Intercontinental Champion could be wearing that gold at Backlash on April 30th.
Cover hook of the leg, kick out after 2 by Hardcore Holly.
And that, of course, will be the night we talked about, the collision course coming to an end between The Rock and Triple H. And what will it mean for Triple H to have his father-in-law, Vince McMahon, in his corner?
Finally, The Rock, here's a cover by Benoit. There's 2, kick out by Holly. Finally, The Rock gets Triple H one-on-one in the middle of the ring for the WWF title. And of course, Vince McMahon, as he said, Kevin, will be in Triple H's corner. That's a wild card that The Rock cannot ignore.
But of course, tomorrow night we are live on Raw from State College, Pennsylvania, the home of Penn State University. And the Bryce Jordan Center is going to come alive. And you know that the McMahon-Helmsley faction is going to look to press their advantage on the road to Backlash. Probably going to look to put The Rock under the gun more than ever.
What a knee to the midsection from the Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit is going to look to apply the crippler crossface. And Hardcore Holly is going to look to hit that power slam suplex. If either man can connect with one of those maneuvers, it will be certain victory.
Hardcore Holly blocking Benoit. Look at the strength of Holly. Dropping Benoit on the top rope.
We can see all the wind just driven right out of Chris Benoit's body.
Ooh! Baseball slide, Benoit knocked out of the ring, and Hardcore Holly perhaps going to where he works best, outside the ring.
Yes, but Hardcore Holly has to remember that this is not a hardcore match. He could very easily slip into that mindset and get himself disqualified, costing himself the Intercontinental Championship.
Benoit whipped into those steel steps, and Hardcore Holly in control right now, the Intercontinental Champion. You know, Kevin, you were talking about The Rock and the title shot, of course, at Backlash. Do you realize if The Rock does not get the job done in Washington, D.C. on April 30th, that perhaps he may never, ever get another title shot?
Certainly isn't. And what a feather it would be in the game's cap. Look at all the victories that Triple H has garnered as World Wrestling Federation champion. He has defeated everyone in a one-on-one contest except for The Rock.
That's right, as Hardcore Holly climbs to the top rope, and Chris Benoit counters with the right hand, and there's another one. You got to give the game Triple H credit. He has been a great champion.
All the way to the top is Chris Benoit.
Oh my. Top rope, Chris Benoit, and his own head bounced off the canvas. And can Benoit capitalize on Hardcore Holly? Oh, we're going to climb the ropes.
Benoit going to the top. Going to look to hit that diving headbutt, Michael. If he connects, it could be over.
Benoit flying, and Hardcore Holly just moves out of the way. And now Holly looks to gain momentum. Cover, could have a new champion. And a kick out after 2 by Chris Benoit.
Still so much desire burning within Chris Benoit. Did not want to quit. Hardcore Holly focused and determined on becoming the Intercontinental Champion.
And Hardcore Holly setting Benoit up. There's the counter by Benoit. Whips Holly into the corner. And Benoit, oh, look at this. Great counter by Holly.
Benoit trying the German suplex, but Holly knew it was coming. Look at how hard he's pounding away on Benoit's back.
This has been a physical matchup, to say the least, between 2 superstars.
What a night of action it's been here on Sunday Night Heat. You know the action's going to continue live tomorrow night on Raw, 9/8 Central here on USA.
Look out, Kevin, German suplex. There's the bridge by Benoit. Holly can't kick out. The Intercontinental Champion wins.
And still, World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
What a matchup. What a treat for us all here on Sunday Night Heat.
But what is in store for The Rock tomorrow night on Raw is War, live from State College, Pennsylvania, Penn State University? What do the McMahon-Helmsley faction have in store for The Rock?
We're back on Sunday Night Heat. The Intercontinental title is on the line. Will Rikishi become the biggest Intercontinental champion of all time? Boy, Thursday on SmackDown, Michael, was evident. D'Lo Brown found out the crippler crossface can come at you anywhere, anytime.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Choosing first the challenger, weighing in at 424 pounds, Rikishi.
Kevin, it's deafening in here, but I do agree with you. Chris Benoit Thursday on SmackDown pulled off one of the greatest counters I've ever seen. I thought D'Lo was going to win the Intercontinental title with the Sky High.
But instead, it was the crippler crossface out of nowhere. And Chris Benoit showed he is the fightingest Intercontinental Champion of all time. But you can add D'Lo Brown, Kurt Angle, and this man Rikishi to the growing list of contenders for this man right here, the Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
And his opponent from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 225 pounds. He is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
Kevin?
Yes?
I think you forgot somebody. Hardcore Holly? Are you just blatantly trying to ignore Hardcore Holly?
No.
He's in the running.
I'm not trying to leave anybody out of that list. Hardcore Holly took Chris Benoit to the limit last Monday on Raw.
Jericho screwed it up.
Well, Benoit was aided by Jericho in a way. I mean, certainly the bitter rivalry that exists between Y2J and Hardcore Holly for a moment transcended the Intercontinental title.
And that's why, because Jericho saw that he was unable to unwrest the Intercontinental title from Benoit, so he didn't want Hardcore Holly to be able to do it.
So you're thinking that this is less of a personal issue and more about professional jealousy?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, Hardcore is the big shot. And he takes big chair shots to everybody's head. I love it.
Boy, and maybe nobody hits harder than Chris Benoit in the World Wrestling Federation. But look at Rikishi stepping up the pace.
I imagine Benoit's game plan has to be different with the 400-pound Rikishi as opposed to a Holly or a D'Lo Brown.
It's going to be all about pace. Who can dictate the pace here on Sunday Night Heat?
Oh, man.
On the Savant kick, cover, perhaps too early, too nonchalant of a cover.
That was stupid, Rikishi.
All this crowd is so solidly behind Rikishi. Waistlock, I question the wisdom of this one. No way you're going to take 400 pounds over it in German suplex this early, Chris Benoit. Oh, my! There it is! Crippler crossface, this one is over!
He is so quick, Benoit.
Back. Let's go. Maybe, Michael, it's too early.
Rikishi so strong, so big.
It could be too early in this match for Rikishi to tap out, but who knows? Benoit pulling harder than ever before, but Rikishi makes it to the ropes.
Oh, what a gutless move.
On Benoit's part?
No, on Rikishi, grabbing the rope.
I'd say that's great ring presence, a great escape. Oh, man.
Now there's some stairs presence.
Benoit shows he can get nasty when it needs to be. Boy, what a week it's going to be in the World Wrestling Federation. You know, tomorrow night, live Raw is War. That's going to be jacked up as the McMahon-Helmsley faction is going to have to come up with some kind of game plan to counteract the three-headed monster of Kane, The Undertaker, and The Rock. All three men, #1 contenders for Triple H's World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Well, Kevin, first of all, when you talk about the McMahon-Helmsley faction, the left hand has to know what the right hand's doing. Last week, that wasn't the case. Nobody was on the same page.
Benoit fighting Rikishi in the corner. The Intercontinental title's on the line here on Heat. Oh, what a chop!
You know, Thursday on SmackDown, there was a lot of excuses. There was a lot of blame being put forth by the McMahon-Helmsley faction.
Well, we'll see what Monday holds, and of course Tuesday, the cameras, the superstars are all going to be in Buffalo. Some great seats remain. Oh, and Benoit almost got a best seat in the house from Rikishi.
You know, I wonder if Kane would have beat Triple H had Earl Hebner not showed back up.
Well, the fact is, the senior referee, Earl Hebner, is back in the World Wrestling Federation. The injuries have mended, and he was there to count Triple H's shoulders down for the 1, 2, 3. It was not a good week for the McMahon-Helmsley faction. Will this next week be any better? Whoa! Samoa drop! Can Rikishi do it, Michael?
Now's the time, Kevin.
Hit a Steve clothesline in the corner.
Benoit's getting right for the picking here.
Oh, my!
Back that ass up.
He's getting ready to back it up. Oh, and he does so. Oh, no. Chris Benoit is getting ready to feel the stink face. Benoit said this would never happen.
Oh!
We saw it, but the referee never did.
Well, how could he? Big as Rikishi is.
And now,
No,
low blow. I don't believe it. German suplex to Benoit down.
He did not. I cannot believe that.
Here's your winner and still World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
Despite the low blow, you have got to give it up for Chris Benoit. What will the next week hold for the McMahon-Helmsley faction? We'll find out tomorrow night live on Raw.
Chris Jericho, a challenger in this fatal four-way matchup for the Intercontinental title. Tremendous ovation for Y2J Chris Jericho, who hopes to become a three-time Intercontinental champion.
It is a four-corner match, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Introducing one of the challengers from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 227 pounds, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho has already advanced Michael into the King of the Ring tournament, a victory over Test last Thursday on SmackDown. And of course, Trish Stratus accompanies Test down to the ringside, and I know she's going to be here with Val Venis. Thursday night on SmackDown was not a very good night for the Big Balboski.
And his opponent being accompanied to the ring by Trish Stratus from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 244 pounds, Val Venis.
On SmackDown, Val Venis trying to get revenge for Rikishi's stink face on Trish Stratus.
And did so by smashing Rikishi with the ring stairs, and then the ring bell. Rikishi busted open. Val and Trish thought they'd escape, but Val Venis found himself in harm's way, courtesy of Rikishi.
And their opponent from Mobile, Alabama, weighing in at allegedly well over 400 pounds, Hardcore Holly.
And Michael, it's a miracle that Val Venis is here with us on Sunday Night Heat, able to compete for the Intercontinental title.
And look at this jerk, Hardcore Holly.
I'm going to tell him he said that.
Well, he insults everybody. He called Coach fat.
Well, Coach fat. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like the pot calling the kettle black, Kevin.
Easy now.
From Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 225 pounds, he is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
The one word to describe this guy in my mind, scary.
Why, I caught up with Benoit after what I thought was a rather shameful act against Jeff Hardy Thursday night on SmackDown. I mean, what a cheap shot from Benoit. Benoit got right into my face, Michael. You want to talk about intense? Definitely left me intimidated and thinking twice about asking any more tough questions of the Intercontinental Champion.
Shows very little expression. Cold, calculated, a silent assassin, but a tremendous Intercontinental champion, a fighting champion. As we start this fatal four-way, what about the rules?
Well, of course, first man to score a pinfall or a submission will be the Intercontinental champion. In a fatal four-way, the champion doesn't have to get beat. Michael, they're right in front of us.
Yeah, Hardcore Holly, Val Venis in front of us. Telling you, Kevin, so far, Val Venis showing very few effects of that big splash by Rikishi on SmackDown.
Yeah, but you know, I've got to wonder how much Val Venis really has. How banged up are those ribs? Look out!
Oh. Chris Benoit knocking down Y2J, Chris Jericho, Hardcore Holly from behind. And the four men involved in this matchup hate each other. There's no doubt these four men cannot stand each other.
Look out, Jericho!
Double drop kick to Holly and Benoit. What a maneuver!
They all want to be the Intercontinental champion. They know how important that title is. Val doing a very smart job.
And look at Val Venis, a counter. Powerbomb, hook of the leg. Could have a new champion. Two, and Hardcore Holly breaks up the 3 count.
Well, you see Hardcore Holly focusing right in on the rib cage, going after the affected area of Val.
And look at this, Hardcore Holly into the corner off the reversal. Chris Benoit catches the elbow from Y2J. Lion Salt, Jericho, new champion, hooks the leg. 1, 2, and a break up of the 3 count.
Great ring presence from Val, not allowing Jericho to get the 3 count.
Again, keep in mind, champion does not have to be pinned to lose his title. First person to gain pinfall or submission wins the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, Hardcore with a clothesline to Val. Chris Benoit hung up on the top rope by Hardcore
hardcore. He doesn't care, does he?
No, he doesn't give a damn. He said that earlier to Coach when he called Coach fat.
Oh, my. Suplex. Now look at this, outside the ring, Val Venis right in front of us, bouncing off the announce table. Chris Jericho just breaks up the 3 count. Pace is fast and furious.
Well, you know, I got to give it up for Val to even being part of this match. We've talked about it throughout the whole hour, what happened with Heat and Rikishi on Thursday. That issue far from over.
Chris Jericho, Y2J, battles back with the forearms to the side of the head of Hardcore Holly. And a rake of the eyes by Hardcore.
Very smart move if you see the champion Benoit on the outside, allowing his batteries to recharge, allowing Jericho and Holly to batter each other inside the ring.
Well, Val Venis doing the same thing right in front of us, Kevin. Trish Stratus and Val Venis, seems like they're discussing strategies. Val Venis gets a quick breather outside the ring, and Jericho, look out, there's Benoit trying to capitalize.
Oh, he's done it! Headbutt, that's it!
Will he retain the championship? And there's Val Venis, they rested Val Venis, breaking up the 3 count.
Yeah, but you can see the pained expression on Val's face as he tosses Benoit over the top. Smart strategy by both Val and Benoit in that exchange.
Well, think about how difficult it is for Val Venis to draw in breath through those injured ribs. Whipped into the corner. Elbow to the face of Y2J, Chris Jericho. And Val caught in the sleeper. And a reversal. Oh, man.
Powerbomb.
Here's a cover. There's 2, and Hardcore breaks up the 3 count.
Well, think about Benoit. You know he's less than 100% physically. He's the fightingest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He defends the title on a nightly basis.
And a testament to how great these 4 superstars are, Kevin. All 4 have advanced into the round of 16 in the King of the Ring tournament.
What a drop kick by Hardcore Holly.
And Hardcore is suddenly in control. Jericho laid waste. Benoit on the apron. And look at the wise move by the champion. And Jericho with a kick to the midsection.
Benoit pulled Hardcore Holly out of the ring to prevent Val from perhaps taking advantage.
And here's Jericho, telegraphed that one. Val misses with a big roundhouse. Wait a minute, Jericho setting him up Val Venis. Will he hook in the walls of Jericho? Y2J going for the walls of Jericho. Hardcore with a chair. Walls of Jericho locked in, Kevin.
I'm not sure that Chris Benoit is aware. Wait a minute. Benoit just saved Jericho from getting the chair shot so he can get one of his own.
Is Val Venis tapping out? Here's the cover on Benoit. There's 2. Val Venis is tapping, Kevin. Val Venis is tapping.
Yeah, but Hardcore only was pinned.
Here's your winner and still the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit.
So I guess Chris Benoit got the 1, 2, 3. The referee never saw Val Venis tapping out.
No, but Chris Jericho's got a legitimate beef, but he's also got to thank Chris Benoit at the same time. Take another look. You'll see Chris Benoit save Chris Jericho from getting clobbered by Hardcore Holly. Benoit, the opportunist. Revenge on his mind as well. Clocks Hardcore Holly. Referee down. Val Venis is tapping out. Mike on the far side as Mike Hughes' hand comes down for the 3rd time.
Benoit retains the Intercontinental Championship. Tomorrow night on Raw, Kevin, will all hell break loose in St. Louis. Rock, Undertaker, Kane, the faction, live tomorrow night.
So close to that hug, and yet mixed still so far.
Well, Chyna's sweet-talking the commissioner into making this an Intercontinental title matchup. Chyna, Mamacita, and Val Venis set to go one-on-one.
We just saw Sergeant Slaughter, and now the Rockets' red glare for Chyna. Can Chyna regain the Intercontinental Championship from Val Venis, who will enter this matchup less than 100%?
Chef Boyardee presents SummerSlam live Sunday, August 27th from Raleigh, North Carolina. Chef Boyardee, bigger for bigger appetites. I'll tell you, Kevin, the night before SummerSlam just announced Radio WWF is back on Westwood 1. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley will co-host that program. It all happens the night before SummerSlam. More on that in the weeks to come.
Maybe, Michael, you, of course, can be, kind of the mediator between Triple H and Stephanie. They can talk out their problems, the whole miscommunication of last week.
Well, honestly, and we've seen the way Triple H and Stephanie have acted in the past. All married couples have problems.
Eddie and Chyna don't look like they're having any problems.
Well, perhaps with a weekend behind them, Triple H and Steph, well, maybe back to normal come Raw tomorrow night.
And it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the company by Trish Stratus from Las Vegas, Nevada. Weighing in at 244 pounds.
Michael, Val Venis, we know, is less than 100% following the war that he had with Rikishi inside the steel cage 7 days ago and fully loaded. I don't think Val is too thrilled with the fact he's got to defend his Intercontinental title here tonight on Heat. Do you think that Chyna intentionally went to Mick Foley knowing that Val Venis is less than 100%?
Of course she did.
Thinking that Val is ripe for the picking.
Did you see the smirk on her face when he walked into the ring?
Chyna knows what she's doing, but then again, we know what a manipulator Trish Stratus can be as well. Who knows what Trish has up her sleeves of her leather coat as Val puts the Intercontinental title on the line.
So Chyna and Val, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Kevin, I always call Trish Stratus a witch. I don't think many people like her. But I really do believe that Trish Stratus was in the wrong place at the wrong time on SmackDown Thursday. I legitimately think that Trish really wanted to learn some wrestling holds from Triple H. They were booked in a match together, and Stephanie just happened to walk in at the wrong time.
Yeah, Trish was in the wrong place at the wrong time. The damage is done. Chyna firing out of the corner. Val Venis started off very quickly, and Chyna blasts the Intercontinental Champion.
Val Venis with stitches to above his eye. Of course, those injured ribs following that big splash by Rikishi off the top of the cage. And the Intercontinental Champion, rake of the eyes and a right hand to Chyna. Chyna is a former Intercontinental Champion. Would love to win the title again.
Oh, boy.
Especially after Eddie Guerrero lost the European Championship at Fully Loaded.
Yeah, to Perry Saturn, who has Terry now in his corner and in his life. And Eddie Guerrero showing he's ready to fight on behalf of his mamacita. Val Venis went very hard into the turnbuckle, Michael. Ribs first. Val is in a lot of pain.
And there's a kick to the ribs by Chyna.
Boy, zeroing in right on that injured area. Chyna knows what she's doing.
And what about Terry, Kevin, saying that she is Perry Saturn's business advisor? You can't argue with the results. Perry Saturn has become champion since Terry took over his career. But she was asked, at what expense? Perry Saturn pitting his best friend Eddie Guerrero.
Oh!
Terry says it doesn't matter. Friendship goes out the window when you're in the ring.
Yeah, and with somebody like Terry, the little she-devil. Wait a minute, head of steam from Chyna.
Nobody home. Chyna into the turnbuckle, and Val looks to capitalize.
Yeah, with Terry and Perry Saturn's life now, Perry will do anything it takes to win. And Val Venis showing no regard at all for Chyna. But then again, the ninth wonder of the world, equal to the task, zeroing in on Val's injured ribcage. Well, I see a trickle of blood beginning to seep from the 5-stitch gash just above Val Venis' left eye. That, of course, suffered inside that steel cage. What a brutal night Fully Loaded was. Think about what Triple H and Chris Jericho endured in that last man standing matchup. What about The Rock and Chris Benoit going to the limit for the World Wrestling Federation title?
Kick by Chyna, and Mamacita battling back, the ninth wonder of the world with a big forearm, and Val Venis counters on his own. Great drop toe hold by Chyna, and an elbow to the back of Val Venis.
Val Venis cannot get any momentum going in this matchup. Oh, look at this.
Into those ribs of Val Venis, and Chyna has got the champion reeling. Cover, could have a new champion, hooks the leg. There's two and a kick out.
Chyna is absolutely one of the most phenomenal athletes we have ever seen here in the World Wrestling Federation. The combination of looks, beauty, brains, and physical intensity. Can Chyna get it done? Can she beat Val to become Intercontinental Champ?
Well, she's working on the ribs.
Boy, oh boy.
Great strategy by Chyna. Val Venis having trouble catching his breath. Every time he draws in a breath, those ribs must burn with pain. Chyna walked into that one.
Yeah, but Val Venis showing he's still got some fight left in him, but it's quickly being sapped from him. This is a war of attrition here on Sunday Night Heat.
Eddie Guerrero on the apron. Val Venis with a right hand to Eddie Guerrero right in front of us.
Man.
Low blow by Chyna. Chyna takes advantage. And Trish.
See ya. No. More sad for Trish.
And Chyna. We could have a new... Wait a minute.
Look out.
DDT and Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn into the ring. Perry Saturn. And here's Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero coming to Mamacita's aid.
Look at Eddie Guerrero. He's like a wild man.
It was Perry Saturn who took Eddie Guerrero's European title from him.
Yeah, but worse. Perry Saturn went after Mamacita. Nobody touches Chyna with Eddie Guerrero around.
Now Perry Saturn's going to pay for it. Look at this. The European champion.
Boy, and that little she-devil Terry has stood up at the top of the ramp this entire time, Michael, looking down.
The winner of this match, overweight disqualification, Chyna.
A Well, Chyna won the match, but she doesn't win the Intercontinental title. But I can guarantee you this issue with Eddie Guerrero and Perry Saturn, far from over. And look at the horny little she-devil. Kevin, don't forget, tomorrow night, Raw is War live, Georgia Dome in Atlanta. For Kevin, I'm Michael. See you next week.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Well, get ready, Taz. Here we go. Intercontinental title on the line. Road Dogg, the challenger, set to take on Eddie Guerrero. And Road Dogg has had some issues in the past with Mr. Guerrero. In fact, Road Dogg is real good friends with Mr. Guerrero's fiancée, the lovely Chyna.
Hey, I got a glimpse.
You damn right.
I got a glimpse of Chyna in that Playboy issue, and there ain't no doubt she's hotter than a Mexican lunch plate.
I get it, Mexican lunch plate.
Get it?
So Road Dogg with a chance to win the Intercontinental title here live on Sunday Night Heat on MTV. What a debut it's been.
Doghouse. Now this goes out to Latino Heat. You see, we fight for my family members and my family. You don't mess with a member of the James gang. So I say, strut yourself down that ramp and let me become the Intercontinental champ.
Mamacita.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring from El Paso, Texas, weighing in at 220 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, Eddie Guerrero.
Well, Taz, Eddie Guerrero is not here with Chyna tonight because Chyna's actually in Washington, D.C. She's getting ready for a huge autograph signing, which takes place tomorrow at Crown Books in Washington, D.C. from 11:30 to 1:30. Chyna will be autographing issues of the latest Playboy, in which Chyna, the 9th winner of the world, is on the cover.
Yeah, of course.
And wait a minute, and Road Dogg with the right hand to Eddie Guerrero, and this match is underway.
And Eddie Guerrero's not on the cover with Chyna. So let me ask you a question. How the hell is Eddie Guerrero going to get the Raw tomorrow? He's going to have to rent a car while she hops in her limo. That's what I'm talking about.
Taz, Chyna looks gorgeous in Playboy. I mean, you got to give her credit. I mean, she looks awesome in that magazine.
She does look awesome, good old MC, but here's the deal.
Oh!
Look, Eddie Guerrero, I'm a little disappointed in Latino Heat. I was digging that Latino temper he was showing. This guy's...
Wait a minute, cover by Road Dogg, could have a new champion in a kick out.
This guy is the Intercontinental champion Eddie Guerrero. And Chyna now, he's being supportive of Chyna. I don't get this, man. He needs to get on her.
I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, what is wrong with Eddie Guerrero supporting Chyna now?
Look, Taz knows how to keep a chick in line. Okay, I know how to keep a broad in line. Guerrero was showing signs of how to keep a broad in line. Now he's being supportive of her? Why?
I'll tell you what, Road Dogg's got Eddie Guerrero in line here. Intercontinental titles on the line, and Road Dogg perhaps with a peace offering to Eddie Guerrero. No, into a clothesline, and the Road Dogg is cooking in this matchup.
That's what I mean. I'm shocked Eddie Guerrero fell for the oldest trick in the book. He's got his guard down because his old lady is posing naked.
I can't wait to see what else Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to do here, live on Heat from WWF New York tonight.
What the hell is Austin still doing here? I know he was here to pop the ratings for Taz's show. He needs to go back to Texas, swallow a beer, and go to sleep and nurse that neck injury.
Well, who knows what Stone Cold's going to do? It's been vigilante justice over the past couple of weeks, ever since Stone Cold Steve Austin came back a week from tonight at Unforgiven.
Look, I'll give Austin his due. He's a tough dude, no doubt. He survived in the streets of Brooklyn. He is that tough. But you know what? He needs to get out of my show and out of my city.
Eddie Guerrero into the sternum. Eddie Guerrero looking to retain the Intercontinental title, and Road Dogg gets the shoulder up before the count of 3. What do you mean, your city? You don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin could make it on the streets of Brooklyn?
No, I said he could. Are you paying attention to me, numbnuts? He could make it in the streets of Brooklyn. There's no doubt. But he doesn't need to be in this building. He did his deal. He needs to leave. This is my time.
Shake, rattle, and roll for the Road Dogg. Road Dogg is cooking here. New Intercontinental Champion could be crowned right here tonight on Sunday Night Heat.
Eddie Guerrero needs to get on his game because his old lady Chyna is occupying space in his head.
What a drop kick by Eddie Guerrero to the knees of the Road Dogg. And Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, the Intercontinental Champion, is in control. And I agree with you there, Taz. I really think Chyna is getting it. Wait a minute. Eddie Guerrero with a cover. His foot's on the rope. And Eddie Guerrero wins. Eddie Guerrero using the ropes for leverage, but he retains the Intercontinental title.
Did the ref see his foot on the rope?
No.
Then it didn't happen.
Well, Eddie Guerrero picks up the victory over the Road Dogg. It retains the Intercontinental title. Golden opportunity for Perry Saturn and the lovely Terry, who, by the way, caused some problems a few weeks ago here on Heat at WWF New York.
Oh, she didn't cause any problems. She was being a sweet little girl with you. Hold your ears.
The Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho.
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, weighing in at 227 pounds, he is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho surviving a war last Sunday night at No Way Out, Taz. It was a fatal four-way, and Chris Jericho retained the Intercontinental title.
I gotta tell you, everybody knows I'm not the best of friends with Jericho. I've been in the ring with Jericho nose to nose, but you gotta take your hat off for Jericho. He's one hell of an Intercontinental Champion. I didn't think he was gonna come out with the gold in that match. I thought it was gonna be taken by Guerrero, personally.
Best of friends with Jericho. Do you have any friends?
Numbers, Joey Numbers. Yeah, that's
right.
about it, yeah.
So Jericho and Saturn.
JR loves me too. JR and me are buddies.
Right. Jericho and Saturn set to go one-on-one. Intercontinental title on the line. And what has been a wild night on Sunday Night Heat. And you have the story of two great finishing maneuvers in this matchup. You got Chris Jericho in the walls of Jericho, and you've got Perry Saturn in
you know it, the Morse-covered, free-handled
family gridanza.
There you go, baby. The most difficult finishing name maneuver in the WWF.
Sort of like the Death Valley Driver.
No, it's not the Death Valley Driver. It looks like it, but it's Perry's version. Morse-covered, free-handled family gridanza.
Well, this crowd is all over Perry Saturn, set to lock up with Chris Jericho. A reminder, folks, Raw is War coming to you tomorrow night from the MCI Center, Washington, D.C., 9 o'clock, 8 Central on TNN.
You really have to take a train there, Cole?
Yes, we do.
I'm begging you to get my travel arrangements done the right way.
Oh, look at this.
Now you gotta love Perry. Get a little smooch from Terry.
And if you tune into Raw on TNN tomorrow night, folks, you can learn how you can win tickets to WrestleMania and also a Limp Bizkit concert. Just tune into Raw tomorrow night.
That's a sweet deal right there. You can jump on that, Cole.
We'll be rolling on the tracks to DC tonight. Me and Taz in business class. Ooh, what a shot from Jericho to Perry Saturn. I brought my backgammon game too, by the way.
I'm not drinking any espresso because I don't want to stay awake up to look at your stupid ass.
And Saturn going to work on Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Here's a spinning heel kick, and Jericho is in control. Keep in mind, K Quick still trying to make the Germ, George Germanaka's hip hop. I still think I'm winning that bet. I still think you're coming up to Jersey for some, good old week up there in the suburbs.
You're out of your mind.
Oh, look out. Oh, Jericho, what a drop kick off the second row.
Beautiful springboard drop kick by Chris Jericho. Perry Saturn smart, getting out of the ring, regroup. Take a look at Terry. He'll be ready to rock. Speaking of the Germalaka, there ain't no way that this guy can become hip or cool.
Baseball slide shot by Jericho. Jericho and Chris Benoit of the Radicals. Benoit, best chops in the business.
No doubt. I mean, Jericho's chops ain't that shabby either. I'll be on the other end of him. He'll lay him in there, but Perry's got that chest of granite. Perry's got that big chest of granite. Jericho's have to lay a lot of chops and hurt that chest.
Talking to Chris Benoit and the problems with Benoit and Guerrero of the Radicals. I'll tell you one thing right now. Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko of the Radicals have been playing, they've been playing peacekeeper in that situation. Look at referee Jimmy Corderas taking the chair right out of the hands of Perry Saturn.
But believe me, I know Perry Saturn very well. He's an explosive individual. Perry Saturn's on both oars ain't in the water at all times. He can go off at any time, and Malenko is cleverly, give me a word, that's cleverly cunning. There you go, cunning.
Saturn top rope, Jericho in trouble. Y2J back into the ring, Intercontinental title on the line. Perry Saturn trying to become champion. What a clothesline top rope.
Cover him,
Saturn hooks the lead. He's got it here. There's two. Jericho got the shoulder up before the count of three. Taz, we were talking about Rock and Austin.
earlier on. Who's going to strike who first in this? Who's going to fire the opening salvo before this war at WrestleMania? We could find out tomorrow night on Raw from Washington, D.C.
On TNN, tomorrow night Raw, we're going to find out what's next in the chapter of Austin and the People's Champ, the WWF Champ, Rock. What's next between these two? Who's going to strike first? I personally think it's going to be The Rock because of that ego of his. That's what I think.
Neckbreaker by Perry Saturn. Terry nodding her approval as Saturn with the right hand to Y2J Chris Jericho. Washington, D.C. for Raw tomorrow night. Want to remind everyone we're sold out at the MCI Center, but invite all our fans to join us Tuesday night, same place, MCI Center in Washington.
It's insecure.
For WWF Live Action.
You got to understand something, Cole. The road to WrestleMania, every WWF superstar gets jacked up, pumped up, fired up, and psyched up. And The Rock in Austin, it don't get no bigger than that one.
Jericho with a big right hand knocking Saturn down. Intercontinental. Wow, what a chop. You can hear that echo throughout the arena. Jericho whipped off the ropes and what a fist to the forehead by Y2J Chris Jericho, and the crowd's coming alive.
That's why Jericho's a smart champion. That's why he's had this belt for a long time, because he stays on top of a guy like Perry Saturn. You can't rest when Perry Saturn's in there with you. Big German coming up here.
Went for the German. Jericho rolled him up, got him here. He's got him. Kick out by Saturn.
Saturn needs to try and catch a throw on Jericho or something. He's going to go for the Moscow. He's not. He's going for a cradle suplex. Oh, nice.
Nice spinning suplex. Got the leg. Got it covered. Got him. No. Kick out after two by Jericho.
More like a spinning cradle. Perry Saturn popped his hips and torqued Jericho's head to the side. Beautiful maneuver. I've never seen that done before.
Intercontinental title on the line. Jericho, the champion, trying to do all he can to retain the title. Perry Saturn on heat. Nice missile drop kick into the cover. Terry's got the referee distracted. Jericho's got this one won, but Terry has the referee distracted.
That's why Terry and Perry are a great team. They work with each other.
Here it comes.
What's coming, baby?
Going for it, and Perry. Terry knocked off the apron. Bulldog by Jericho. And here comes the lion saw. Second rope. Got him.
Kick out.
Hook to the leg. Jericho retains the title.
Here is your winner and still World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho.
He won the matchup, but it wasn't too easy.
Yeah, Perry Saturn a bit distracted as Jericho shoved him into Terry. Terry off the apron. She may be hurt, but Jericho nonetheless retains the Intercontinental Championship. What a victory for Chris Jericho here tonight on Sunday Night Heat.
Your challenger from Ozone Park, New York, weighing in at 228 pounds, Just Incredible.
So Just Incredible, who was acting strange last week right here on Sunday Night Heat, has not only turned his back on X Factor, but he's turned his back on the entire World Wrestling Federation, defecting to ECW.
Think a couple weeks ago that Paul Heyman was already getting in Just Incredible's head?
I would think so.
And from Boston, Mass, weighing in at 347 pounds, he is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion.
Well, at 350 pounds, Albert, the Intercontinental Champion, is as nasty as can be. He's staring a hole through Just Incredible. And Al, I think this is about more than the Intercontinental title here tonight.
Without a doubt. Albert is the enforcer of X Factor, and I don't think he took too kindly to Just Incredible not only leaving X Factor, but leaving the WWF too.
Well, speaking of leaving the WWF throughout the hour, folks, we are going to talk about the whereabouts of the WWF champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who walked out on the World Wrestling Federation this past Thursday night. We're going to talk all about that throughout the hour, but let's talk about Just Incredible and the situation with ECW. One of the number of men, including Taz, who's normally here on Sunday Night Heat, who turned their back on the locker room to join Paul Heyman in the ECW.
Paul Heyman, a master manipulator. It didn't take much, I'm sure, to get in Just Incredible's head and probably push the buttons to make Just Incredible jealous of Albert, who's an Intercontinental Champion, and X-Pac, who's WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, because Just Incredible is a former ECW Heavyweight Champion.
Well, you know, we talk about Paul Heyman, but the only reason that ECW is back in business, so to speak, is because of the financial backing in the pocketbooks of one Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. As Albert goes to work on Just Incredible, Intercontinental title is on the line in this matchup. Folks, we are a week away from Invasion, live on pay-per-view from the Gund Arena in Cleveland, and look at the strength of Albert Al.
Albert is so big and so strong. I have no idea what Just Incredible is going to do to handle this man.
Now, I'll tell you, I understand during some of your time off from Tough Enough, you've actually been doing some research.
Yes, I just concluded my study, and it was an incredible research. I found out why cats lick themselves.
You found out why cats lick themselves.
They're delicious. Of course, you got to worry about the hairballs, Mike.
Nonetheless, Albert, the Intercontinental Champion, in control. Trash talking, just incredible. And there was the Insiguri from, as you mentioned, a former ECW champion. Just incredible, taking it to the big man, Albert. What about Stone Cold Steve Austin? What do you think his status is, Al? I mean, have you had any contact with the Rattlesnake at all?
You know, Michael, Steve Austin and I are not exactly the closest of friends, but, you know, it concerns me as much as it does anybody in the World Wrestling Federation. And over the weekend, I tried to call him, tried to track him down. I even tried to call Deborah, and all I've ever gotten was their answering machine, their voicemail. I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, great counter by Just Incredible. The question is, will Stone Cold Steve Austin be at Raw tomorrow night in Providence, live on TNN? Will Stone Cold Steve Austin be at Invasion next Sunday on pay-per-view as the leader, the captain of Team WWF? And you and I were talking to the back before the show, Al. This ECW, WCW Invasion is a true threat, but nonetheless, our future here in the WWF. Oh, look out. Just Incredible walking right into that, Al. Albert setting him up for the Bulldog Bomb. 1, 2, 3. And Albert picks up the victory over Just Incredible.
My headset's dead. I can't say a word. You probably can't hear anything I'm saying, can you?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Can you?
Yeah. Your headset's fine. Welcome to the World Wrestling Federation. Welcome to deal with you for a week. Intercontinental title on the line right here on Sunday Night Heat.
It's Captain Charisma, Lance Storm.
Scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring representing the Alliance, weighing in at 230 pounds, Intercontinental Champion, Lance Storm.
Captain Charisma.
Yeah, it's good to see that the Alliance has their own Steve Blackman. This guy is very serious, and he's got the same haircut.
But he is the Intercontinental Champion.
And I'm not taking nothing away from him. The guy is not just the Intercontinental Champion. He was an ECW 3-time tag team champion. He was, you know, he held simultaneously the US title, the Cruiserweight title, and the Hardcore title on WCW.
I'll tell you, Scotty Too Hotty really made a huge impression right here at WWF New York, right here on Sunday Night Heat last week. In fact, we had that worm race, and Scotty actually, well, we had a little bet in the side. He actually had the winning time.
That's right. I'm beginning to think that it was a little, shall we say, fixed.
Oh, will you stop?
I don't know.
Scotty Too Hotty with a chance here tonight to bring the Intercontinental Championship back to the World Wrestling Federation. Lance Storm is scheduled. Oh, look at this now. Lance Storm from behind attacking Scotty Too Hotty, and we are underway in this matchup. Next week at SummerSlam on pay-per-view, Al, Lance Storm is set to defend the Intercontinental title against Edge, and that should be a good one.
Hey, and let me point something out. I mean, I call him Captain Charisma. I call him Mannequin because he takes things so seriously. This guy's an incredible athlete. I wasn't even finished with running down all the accomplishment this guy has made. And I know it personally because he was a former tag partner of mine in ECW. This guy can leap like a gazelle.
And Scotty Too Hotty up after Lance Storm. Intercontinental title is on the line. It was last Monday night on Raw. Lance Storm embarrassed and humiliated by Edge and Christian. Edge actually pulling Lance Storm's pants down on national television, but Lance got a measure of revenge on SmackDown Thursday night.
That's right. He pulled off the Jericho, one of Edge and Christian's own moves, back on Edge.
We understand Edge suffering a slight concussion thanks to the Concerto will be ready to go at SummerSlam next Sunday night on pay-per-view. Here comes Scotty. Went for the Bulldog. Lance had it scouted. And there goes Scotty into the steel post, shoulder first.
I'm really looking forward to that match on SummerSlam because this is going to be an incredible physical and athletic match between Edge and Lance Storm.
As Scotty Too Hotty looks to take the Intercontinental title back to the World Wrestling Federation here tonight. Kurt Angle, look at the crossbody lateral press by Scotty, and a kick out. Kurt Angle hopes to bring the WWF title back to the World Wrestling Federation. It's Angle Austin for the WWF title next Sunday night.
Next Sunday night.
Covered by Lance Storm, hook of the leg, Scotty kicks out.
Comes down to Angle living up to all his promise. This guy thrives on pressure, Michael. I mean, he literally had the entire country on his shoulders, and he went to the Olympics and he won the gold medal. My money's on Angle next Sunday.
Well, Kurt Angle better thrive under pressure because there's a lot of pressure on Kurt Angle. He holds the hopes of the entire World Wrestling Federation on his shoulders. Next Sunday at SummerSlam, suplex by Storm, cover, hook of the leg, got him, no, kick out by Scotty Too Hotty. Stone Cold Steve Austin still the toughest SOB in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. And we saw that viciousness, that aggressiveness of Austin come out this past Thursday on SmackDown. Remember, 2 weeks ago, Kurt Angle promised Deborah, Stone Cold's wife, that he was going to break Austin's ankle. Well, Austin wanted to have the preemptive strike on SmackDown.
Without a doubt. Austin might be a cruel, sadistic bully, but let's face it, Austin's smart.
Very smart.
He's no dummy. He knows Angle is probably one of the biggest threats that he's going to face in a long time for that WWF title, and he's going to do everything he can to keep a hold of that belt.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin is obsessed with being WWF champion. Lance Storm, Intercontinental champion. But a tremendous counter by Scotty Too Hotty. And what a win this would be for Scotty Too Hotty here tonight on Heat. Referee beginning the count. Intercontinental title is on the line. Folks, coming up next, a sit-down interview with Raven and Terry here on Heat. That should be interesting. A lot of questions asked those two as Scotty and Lance Storm rise slowly to their feet. Scotty with a right hand to Lance Storm. Battling back. Lance Storm misses his right hand, and Scotty knocks him down. Lance Storm up off the rope. Scotty Too Hotty with a big back body drop. And the momentum could be shifting the WWF way. Right now, the World Wrestling Federation is 2-0 against the Alliance here tonight.
And you know what all the fans are there to see?
What? Could it be coming?
And Bulldog! Yes! He's got the happy face. He's got the happy face. I think he's going to show the worm.
The fans have come to their feet. Scotty Too Hotty, perhaps on the verge of being crowned Intercontinental Champion. There's a chop to the neck.
Get on him.
Scotty wasted a little too much time, and Lance Storm countered. And there is that ring instinct of Lance Storm you were talking about. Scotty up over the top, lands on his feet, off the ropes. Lance Storm slides underneath, and look at, there's the half Boston Crab. Lance Storm with a tremendous counter. Scotty's tapping. Lance Storm retains the Intercontinental title.
Lance Storm literally trying to break Scotty in half with that half Boston Crab.
The Intercontinental title remains in the Alliance. Here tonight, it's Edge versus Test with the Intercontinental title on the line.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring representing the Alliance, weighing in at 282 pounds.
Well, there you see our guest host for tonight, Shawn Stasiak.
Look at that. That's a shame. You know, it's all grins and giggles, everybody laughs, but NASA now taking a step back. We no longer can make it to Mars because he's not going to be involved.
Well, Test is involved. They program right down to the title matchup.
And I got the tough test tonight.
From Toronto, Ontario, weighing in at 241 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion,
Rob Zombie from Sinister, helping Edge make it to the ring. Big matchup. Edge and Test, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Already tonight, the World Wrestling Federation's won 3 matches to 0 from the Alliance.
The Big Test is feeling a little edgy.
Perhaps. But I'll tell you one thing. Let's give Test his props. Let's give Test his due. He has arguably been the MVP of the Alliance since defecting from the World Wrestling Federation. Test has got it all.
Unquestionably, the guy has definitely stepped up his game. He's big, he's aggressive.
But was it the right move for Test to defect to the Alliance? Because in 3 weeks at Survivor Series, either the WWF or the Alliance is going to no longer be in business.
Well, you know, is it a good move for us to stay loyal to the WWF?
Well, so far it has been. Hopefully keep our fingers crossed. It will be after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
You and I are going to be running for mayor or something in Lima, Ohio.
Oh, I am, the unofficial writing candidacy.
Right, that's what I understand. Can you imagine you winning the mayoralship of Lima, Ohio, if that's even a word, as Test goes to work on Edge. Intercontinental title on the line. You got to believe, Al, that Edge is nowhere close to 100% after that hellacious battle he underwent with his brother Christian last week at No Mercy.
There's no way that he could overcome some of the injuries he's sustained in a ladder match with Christian.
Look at this. First goes Test.
And then again,
into the cover, hook of the leg. He's got to know.
I could be wrong.
And not just physically less than 100% for Edge, but how about mentally, psychologically, emotionally? I mean, he has been through this month-and-a-half battle with a person that he's been brought up with, his own brother, Christian, as Edge takes the Test again into a cover, and again a kick out.
Well, ever since this WWF Alliance thing has started, it's literally torn families apart. I mean, Edge, Christian, and then, of course, Shane and Stephanie, Vince and Linda. It's really taking a toll on everybody. Test is so brutal. He is so strong and such an impact.
Cover hook of the leg by Test and a kick out. And Test hammers away on Edge. Test has been extremely successful out since coming to the Alliance. He's won tag team titles. He, as I said before, has been called the MVP on a number of occasions by a number of members of the Alliance. This guy's got it all. He really is doing well.
And a few of these guys in the Alliance thrive on that Shane McMahon, Steve Austin, Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman, tough love kind of philosophy, I guess. And Test is a prime example of that.
Well, we're 3 weeks away from Survivor Series on pay-per-view. See him, what a clothesline by Test. Edge whipped into the corner, and another clothesline. Intercontinental title on the line as Test is beating the hell out of Edge.
And that makes it so much more effective when he throws Edge into the turnbuckle, and Edge has no place to go.
Test been busted open at the lip, and I'll tell you, Al, you know, going into Survivor Series, we do know there's going to be some sort of match, one match to determine whether the WWF or the Alliance stays in business. Suplex by Test. We could have a new champion. New Intercontinental champion, no. Edge gets the shoulder up, but we don't even know what type of a match it's going to be at Survivor Series. We don't even know who's going to be involved.
Well, you know, I felt pretty confident since Vince McMahon's come back. The pendulum has definitely swung into the WWF's favor, but I would feel a whole lot more comfortable about my job prospects if I at least knew what kind of match it was going to be at Survivor Series.
I'll tell you, over the past week, the Alliance has really only had two highlights. The fact that the Dudley Boys won the WCW Tag Team titles from the Hardy Boys on SmackDown, and the fact that Rob Van Dam has been able to hold on to the Hardcore title. Other than that, the Alliance has been falling apart over the past week. Here tonight on Heat, they're 3-0. The WWF 3-0 against the Alliance. And this has all happened ever since Vince McMahon has come back into the picture.
But didn't the Dudley Boys turn right back around and lose those WCW titles?
No, they won the WCW titles on SmackDown this past Thursday night. Shot to the midsection. The Dudleys lost the WWF Tag Team titles to the Rock and Jericho on Raw.
Just figured I'd continue my string of intelligent observations.
Let's talk about that observation. Boot to the midsection, Edge to Test, and here's the pivotal point of this matchup.
And not just a boot, but a drop kick. Both opposing forces of momentum made that a huge impact for Edge.
Edge to his feet. Edge's Intercontinental title on the line. Test would love to bring that title to the Alliance. Edge blocking the right hands by Test. The quickness of Edge with a right hand of his own to Test. And Edge now beginning to roll in this matchup. Test knocked down. And there's another clothesline.
Edge definitely picking up momentum. Can Test stop him?
Oh, kick up underneath the chin by Edge into the cover. Hooks the leg. Does he have it? No! Almost a 3 count. 2.5.
Hoping for 4 for 4 for the WWF tonight.
Test off the rope, so there's the strap. Wait a minute.
Going for the save.
Counter.
Beautiful powerbomb.
The title's on the line. And Edge just got the shoulder up yet again.
Test getting frustrated. He's got to control his emotion. Don't let that anger and aggression get too much for you.
Test couldn't believe it. Perhaps setting Edge up for that big boot. You saw him slap his thigh. If he connects with the boot, this one's over. Goes for the boot. Edge ducks underneath it. Spear to Test. A desperation spear. Hook of the leg. He's got it. Test again with the shoulder up. What a tremendous matchup between two young stars, Edge and Test in this one.
Both of them hungry, both of them eaten alive.
Oh, look out.
Going for the Impaler. Pump handle.
Test stepping up. Oh, look at that. 1, 2. Test kicks out before the count of 3. A tremendous battle on Heat. Intercontinental title on the line. Momentum swing could be on the way if the Alliance can pick apart the WWF in this one.
it makes you wonder. Normally, Test might not have been able to kick out, but it makes you wonder, did that example that Shane set Thursday night on SmackDown, is that in the back of Test's mind every time he's almost pinned?
Shane can set a huge example tomorrow night on Raw when he meets his own father, Vince, in a street fight live from Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, in the past, Shane, every time he's been in a street fight has set an example.
Referee Timmy White's going to throw this one out. Both men, I believe, have been counted out of the ring.
And I don't think that's the outcome that either one of these guys wanted.
Well, you know what happens when the emotion starts to flow, and the emotion flowing for Test.
This doesn't look good.
Referee Timmy White being stalked by Test, the WWF referee, and Test, wait a minute, bolts from behind. And he calls it the execution. And Edge hammering Test.
And I continue to bat 1,000 tonight.
Anyway, Edge keeps the Intercontinental title. You got to be happy about that.
I am, but is Sean Stasiak contagious or something?
Well, he is our special guest. He is lying back there with ice packs.
Well, I'm not doing.
I'll tell you, that was a shocker Thursday night. Chuck and Billy defeating you and Spike for the tag team titles. What happened out there?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, we lost. That's what happened. These things happen. I mean, I'm bummed out about it. I know Spike is, but life goes
The
on.
contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, William Regal.
So now Chuck and Billy are heading to WrestleMania in 3 weeks to take on the APA, who won Tag Team Turmoil last Sunday at No Way Out. With the tag titles on the line.
You know, I'll tell you what, Spike and I both thought we'd end up facing the APA at WrestleMania.
67,000 at the Skydome in Toronto, WrestleMania 18, presented by Sour Skittles. WrestleMania will be live Sunday, March 17th from the sold-out Toronto Skydome. Sour Skittles, bite-sized candies, feel the charge, taste the rainbow.
Do you ever taste the rainbow, Cole?
No, but Regal may be tasting something here in a second.
And the challenger, weighing in at 350 pounds, Rikishi.
Intercontinental title on the line. It is the power of the punch from the champion, William Regal.
Power of the punch versus the power of the ass. This one is for the ages.
And Rikishi's got to be extremely careful of those brass knuckles that William Regal has become very adept at using. Regal claims it's a God-given gift, this power of the punch. I'd say it's that brass that puts around his knuckles every week.
Well, I guess William Regal doesn't realize he's actually holding brass. Is it brass steel? Well, that's a different type of mineral, zinc, right? Isn't zinc and metals? So, I mean, if he holds steel, what's heavier, steel or brass?
You never did your little periodic tables in high school, did you? You know, chemistry?
No, I had a habit, a really bad habit of missing periods. Like 6th period was always tough because lunch was 5th period, and I was always stuffed from eating all that good food in my boarding school in Red Hook. You know what I call
boarding school in Red Hook?
Yeah, all the windows were boarded up.
Regal and Rikishi lock up center of the ring with the Intercontinental title on the line here on Sunday Night Heat. But folks, I just shudder to think what's going to happen tomorrow night on Raw, live from the Dunkin' Donuts Arena in Providence, Rhode Island, as Stone Cold Steve Austin arrives after what he did to Scott Hall. Look out. On SmackDown this past Thursday night. You have to believe that Hall, Hogan, and Nash aren't going to take that lion down, and I wonder if Austin is ready for the repercussions from the NWO.
Well, you know, the NWO, Hall, Nash, and Hogan have had a few days to stew about what happened to them on SmackDown, and I'm sure they want a big-time piece of the rattlesnake. And knowing the NWO and the way they operate, I'm sure they're going to come to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Old Providence with a vengeance.
Crowd all over the Intercontinental Champion William Regal, elbow to the face by the 350-pound Rikishi.
You know, Cole, I've wrestled Rikishi many times, and you know when he slaps his cheeks like that, you know, like he did a few minutes ago?
Right.
The aroma just shoots off his buttocks. It's like a venom, like a
Covered
snake.
by Regal, thank the Lord, and a kick out by Regal after, by Rikishi after two.
You know, like a snake, like one of those snakes that go, they shoot.
You talk.
They shoot.
Why'd you go to the Bronx Zoo this week?
No. They shoot the venom out. Like that. When he slaps his ass, he goes, shoot,
Well,
like
anyway,
that.
speaking of slaps, I can't believe that the NWO just received a slap on the wrist for what it did to them. I mean, community service and a public apology, which they didn't even mean. They were reading the damn apology off a scripted format, probably written by McMahon and his attorneys.
There's that aroma. See what I'm saying?
Okay, Marlon Perkins. Look at Rikishi dropping the leg across the sternum, or the crocodile.
Wasn't he in The Godfather, Marlon Brando?
Marlon Perkins, Wild Kingdom.
What?
Look at Regal. He's got that championship gold in his hand. A shot to the face by Rikishi.
What a shock. Regal gonna use the... Can't help it.
That's a pleasant sight. Rikishi backing it up. Boy.
No, Regal, you want to get out of there.
Regal said he wasn't going to smell the stink face. He's about to get a face full on heat.
He's royalty. Regal's a royal man. He's got a royal stink face now.
William Regal with a stink face from Rikishi. Well, referee Teddy Long making sure he doesn't use that title. But it was a distraction. Brass knuckles are out. Rikishi knocked out by the brass knuckles again.
He's got it.
Power of the punch by rear end.
Here is your winner and still Intercontinental Champion, William Regal.
No matter what you want to say about Regal, Cole, you cannot deny the fact that that man will do anything to hold on to that Intercontinental title, and he does a good job at it.
Using the brass knuckles again, referee distracted, taking the title hold out of the ring. It allowed Regal to use the brass knuckles to the chin of Rikishi. Folks, don't forget Raw. Tomorrow night, 9/8 Central on TNN from Providence. Will the NWO make Austin pay? For Taz, I'm Cole. See you next week.
Weighing in at 262 pounds, Mr. Perfect.
We are back on Sunday Night Heat.
And Castro GTX presents WWF Backlash. Backlash will be live Sunday, April 21st from the Kemper Arena in Kansas City. The Motorola that provides maximum protection. Castro GTX. Drive hard.
Mr. Perfect set for action, and how is the draft going to affect Backlash in Kansas City next month? That and many other questions could be answered tomorrow night live on Raw.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 235 pounds, is the Intercontinental Champion,
RVD winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania with a victory over William Regal in front of over 68,000 fans in Toronto.
Oh, you hear that? Well, that is, that's one of a kind by Breaking Point. That's Van Dam's new tune on the Forceful Entry CD.
Available this Tuesday. RVD, the Intercontinental Champion, defending against Mr. Perfect. Can you imagine what it was like for this kid, RVD, Taz? First WrestleMania this past Sunday, and he came right out of the chute, opened the show with a victory over Regal.
I'm not surprised at all that Rob Van Dam is the new Intercontinental Champion. Rob Van Dam is one of the most dynamic, phenomenal athletes ever in sports entertainment. I myself have been in the ring with Van Dam many times, and I'll tell you what, I ain't surprised that he beat Regal.
Well, RVD's going to have his hands full with a veteran Mr. Perfect in this matchup. And again, as his fans come along for RVD, Rob Van Dam is one of those guys, if you're in the draft room for Mr. McMahon or Mr. Flair's team, Taz, you're looking at the board, RVD is one of those guys you've got to consider drafting pretty high in the draft.
Well, Van Dam's a ringer. I mean, ain't no doubt about it. This guy is phenomenal. And if I was Flair or McMahon, this guy'd be high on my list, that's for sure.
Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow night? There could actually be trades taking place. Perhaps Flair drafts somebody McMahon wants. Maybe McMahon will trade the next 2 picks to get that person. And what about the NWO and the pre-draft deal already set up by Mr. McMahon that the NWO will be drafted as a unit? And as you said earlier, they're now 3 strong, the NWO.
And, you know, X-Pac, you know, the impact that he came in, you know, he came back to Raw Wrestling Federation on SmackDown. And as we know it now, X-Pac is the newest member of the NWO. And I believe he was an original member, or one of the original members, wasn't he?
Well, I'll tell you, we were in shock that X-Pac did show up on SmackDown this past Thursday night, join the NWO. But in retrospect, when you think about it, Taz, X-Pac is great friends with Kevin Nash. He's really good friends with Scott Hall.
Could you imagine if he answered my question?
Well, yeah, he was one of the NWO members.
Thank you.
I thought you answered it yourself.
No, I asked
You're supposed to be the expert. That's why you're the color analyst.
Oh, no way. I was just testing you. I mean, I am an expert. I just want to make sure that, you know what's going on. Abdominal stretch by Mr. Perfect.
Color analyst doesn't mean you sit in the tanning booth all week long and get the color for the analyst role.
Oh, see now, you're going to talk about because I tan a lot, because I'm like a Hollywood guy, man. Beautiful skin texture.
Oh.
Unlike you, you're so white, you see through.
RVD, the Intercontinental Champion with the title on the line. The right hands to Mr. Perfect.
And the tanning's a big thing in Red Hook, by the way. We don't have any sunshine, so we do the indoor stuff.
I'm surprised Red Hook has tanning salons. Near the elbows to Perfect.
And we go across the river to the river there to Manhattan.
The wiggle. Yeah, what a shot to the chin by RVD. The highly unorthodox style of Rob Van Dam. And it must be so hard when you're in the ring with RVD, and I know you have been tasked to combat his style.
Oh, it's very, you never know where Van Dam's coming from. Those feet, those hands, the body. He comes out of nowhere with stuff, Van Dam. I'm telling you, this guy's amazing.
Here's the cover on Perfect. Perfect with his foot on the ropes. The referee did see it. Mike Chioda.
The ring veteran, Mr. Perfect. The ring savvy. The ring, know where the ring is.
Now Perfect whips into the corner by RVD. And look at this. Went for the monkey flip. Perfect. Here, foot on the ropes. RVD's in trouble. Could have a new champion in the referee. Wisely saw Perfect's feet up on the ropes.
I don't know, Cole. I don't think his feet were on the ropes on that one. That's pretty obvious, huh?
Oh, what a shot to the chin. Raw's War live tomorrow night, Penn State University. Oh, look at this. RVD top rope. Perfect's in trouble. Rob Van Dam. Crowd on its feet. 5-star frog splash to Perfect.
This is got to be it. Good night, Irene.
Look at the leg. It's over. RVD with a successful Intercontinental title defense.
Intercontinental Champion,
Where will RVD be drafted? Tomorrow night on Raw. I'll tell you, he could go high in the draft with maneuvers like this.
Oh, absolutely, Cole. In my opinion, this is the most impactful finisher. Sports entertainment. Just see right here in slow-mo. Check out the height of RVD.
Who will be the #1 draft pick tomorrow night live on Raw? It is the biggest Raw in its 10-year history. Live tomorrow night on TNN.
Latino Heat.
The Big Show shocked everyone on Raw, turning on Austin and joining the NWO. But you know Austin will be spewing some venom come Raw tomorrow night in Buffalo. And here comes the new Intercontinental Champion. What a match a week ago at Backlash, defeating RVD.
the following title contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from El Paso, Texas, weighing 228 pounds, the new World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Guerrero.
I'd just like to say that the Big Show is an opportunist, and with Kevin Nash being suspended, the Big Show took this opportunity to slide right in.
Well, 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls presents Judgment Day. Judgment Day will be live Sunday, May 19th from the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, Tennessee. And tickets went on sale yesterday for Judgment Day, and you know in 3 weeks, Nashville, Tennessee, it's going to be rocking.
Well, as of right now, it's going to be Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker at Judgment Day. However, that can all change if Chris Jericho can defeat Hulk Hogan next week in Pittsburgh on SmackDown.
Well, a resounding ovation for the return to Sunday Night Heat, the return to the World Wrestling Federation for D'Lo Brown, and that man right there, the Intercontinental Champion, Eddie Guerrero, will have a stiff test here tonight on Heat.
I find it interesting how well the fans have taken to D'Lo Brown, considering he's been off TV for well over a year.
D'Lo Brown looks to be in tremendous condition, Raven. And I tell you what, as we heard from him earlier, he is so excited to be back. And who can blame him? You talk about opportunity, he's another man that has an opportunity.
However, I think D'Lo Brown is making a crucial mistake. To go up against somebody of the caliber of Eddie Guerrero in his first match back is not a smart move. In my humble opinion, I think that Eddie Guerrero, along with Triple H and Kurt Angle, are probably the 3 greatest wrestlers in the Federation today. And I think D'Lo Brown should have taken somebody easy like Harvey Whippleman or perhaps the Brooklyn Brawler.
Whoa. You know the the Brooklyn Brawler is one of my favorites, but I will agree with you in the fact that these guys are spectacular when you talk about Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, or Triple H. And last Sunday at Backlash, Eddie Guerrero was just that, spectacular with his win over RVD. And then Monday night on Raw, trying to get a little cocky.
Well, what makes Eddie Guerrero so special, besides his family, besides it being in his gene pool, is the fact that he can wrestle a ground game. He can wrestle an air game. He has training Mexican style, in Japanese style, in American style. He is so deadly, so quick, and so effective.
Oh, now D'Lo Brown, I tell you, you talk about the conditioning he's in. He's much quicker than he was before. Case in point right there, taking down Eddie Guerrero one more time. And now D'Lo Brown, this is a non-title matchup here on Heat. But I tell you what, Latino Heat covets that Intercontinental title so much, Raven.
Well, he covers anything that's going to put him near the top of the card. I mean, he's trying to live up to a family legacy that is so huge. His father, Guerrero, was one of the 3 biggest stars in the history of the entire country of Mexico.
Now D'Lo Brown up on the middle rope and off with a huge clothesline off that middle. Here's the cover. No hook of the leg, too. Oh, and Eddie Guerrero is able to kick out. But you talk about Eddie Guerrero and what happened at Backlash. So much.
Oh, wait a second. Look at this move right here that D'Lo's perfected.
Bam! What impact! What impact by D'Lo! And nearly a 3 count on Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero certainly not in the same position he was last Sunday at Backlash. Somewhat of controversy with RVD, and then Monday night on Raw, getting cocky, down at the announce table, doing commentary, and getting involved again one more time with RVD.
Well, they definitely have issues that they need to solve between the two of them. But right now, Guerrero ripping him into the ropes.
And now D'Lo Brown nailed by Eddie Guerrero right in the kisser, and D'Lo is down.
And I think this is the point where Eddie can capitalize. He caught D'Lo Brown coming off with a back elbow, and I think now if he stays on him, the tide of the battle will turn.
Eddie Guerrero so technically sound, so solid in the ring, and right now he is showing D'Lo just that. And now Eddie Guerrero,
belly to back suplex, and now he's going outside so he can vault back in. I've seen him do it a million times.
Now Latino Heat,
senton bomb
down onto D'Lo Brown. Here's a cover, no hook of the leg though. 2 count by Earl Hebner, and a kick out.
He did hook the leg, but he did shove the forearm across the face, which is somewhat effective on its own right.
You know, Eddie Guerrero probably in the greatest shape of his career. I don't know if you would agree with that or not.
Absolutely.
But right now, Eddie Guerrero and his technical skills are just so solid in the ring.
Abdominal stretch right here, pulling across the serratus and the intercostal, ripping the abdominal muscles. I like what Scott Hall does when he does this. He picks the ankle as well to apply even more pressure.
Earl Hebner asking D'Lo Brown if he's had enough. D'Lo says no, not by a long shot. And you can see the look on the face of Eddie Guerrero. So much effort here tonight on Heat.
D'Lo Brown rocking, trying to hip toss Eddie Guerrero out, and does.
Just enough strength by D'Lo Brown to get Eddie Guerrero over. And now, Eddie Guerrero, though, back in control and stepping on the face of D'Lo Brown. And Eddie Guerrero, I tell you what, he is so intense, night in and night out.
Eddie Guerrero not afraid to break a few rules, not afraid to try something scientific, not afraid to try anything. He's so diverse.
Oh, what power by D'Lo Brown. We could have a huge upset. Oh, but Eddie Guerrero is able to kick out of D'Lo Brown's cover. And folks, I tell you what, don't forget, tomorrow night we're in Buffalo, New York for Raw, live, 9 o'clock, 8 Central, on the new TNN, and a big chop by Eddie Guerrero, and another to D'Lo Brown. Oh, so much could happen tomorrow night on Raw Live. What a clothesline by Eddie Guerrero. And you gotta believe that RVD is gonna be looking for Eddie as well. Here's a cover, looking like 2, on a kick out by D'Lo.
Eddie Guerrero grabbing a rear chin lock now, trying to cut off the blood flow to the brain, trying to cut off the oxygen, and trying to wear down his opponent.
Once again, if you are in the Buffalo, New York area tomorrow, come out and join us live for Raw at the HSBC Arena. It's going to be a show like no other. And now D'Lo, catches Eddie Guerrero right on the side of the head. And D'Lo right back up to his feet, and now in control of this matchup. Huge backdrop by D'Lo Brown, and the crowd roaring their approval.
D'Lo Brown picking Eddie Guerrero up with a big body slam.
And now D'Lo sizing up Eddie Guerrero for a little shaky leg grab with the back home. Here's a cover, leg 2, and a kick out by Eddie. And I tell you what, D'Lo Brown has taken Eddie Guerrero to the limit and then some here tonight on Heat.
Right hands, And now D'Lo Brown setting up for some sort of suplex, perhaps going for a superplex by putting Eddie Guerrero on the top rope.
I know what D'Lo Brown's trying to do tonight, trying to make a name for himself, taking on the brand new Intercontinental Champion and making a very good showing for himself. What a night it would be if D'Lo Brown
Eddie
somehow
Guerrero pushes D'Lo Brown off the top rope and now setting up for the frog splash.
Nobody home. D'Lo Brown rolls out of the way.
But Eddie Guerrero crawls to his own feet.
And now D'Lo Brown misses. And now, oh, setting up for the DDT. Oh, there it is. Huge tornado DDT by Eddie Guerrero. And now, wait a second. Eddie Guerrero letting the crowd know with that smirk that only Eddie Guerrero has as he climbs to the top. And Eddie Guerrero feels good. He looks good. He is good. Frog splash on D'Lo Brown. Perfectly executed. And forget about it.
Here is your winner, the Intercontinental Champion,
Eddie Guerrero victorious once again, as I knew he would be. D'Lo Brown picking the wrong opponent to make his debut back here on Heat.
Folks, don't forget tomorrow night, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you gotta believe, looking for the big show in the NWO. Also, will Hollywood Hulk Hogan be in the house tomorrow night? For Raven, I'm the coach. See you tomorrow night. Peace. Day, Hogan, Undertaker, Edge, Angle, hair for hair, and 2 more huge matches signed this week we'll talk about throughout the hour. For Raven, I am the coach. Welcome to Sunday Night Heat, right here on MTV.
scheduled for one fall is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first from El Paso, Texas, weighing 228 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Eddie Guerrero.
Well, Raven, we head towards Judgment Day 1 week from tonight, live on pay-per-view. Whole new look, whole new attitude. However, I don't know if The Undertaker or Hollywood Hulk Hogan will make it even close to 100%.
Battered, beaten, and bloody. I love it. 2 warriors going the eternal form of combat. Outstanding.
Speaking of battered and bruised, a huge match signed this week on SmackDown. The most dangerous match we have in the WWE. Hell in a Cell, Triple H, and Y2J.
234 pounds, Tommy Dreamer.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that is the match that Triple H retired Mick Foley in.
It exactly is. It had such serious implications and effects on the careers of Mick Foley, on the career of Shawn Michaels, in fact.
Shawn Michaels lost his smile, and I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Well, here we go. Eddie Guerrero, the Intercontinental Champion, not wasting any time, taking it to Tommy Dreamer. Folks, the Intercontinental title is on the line right here on Heat. And I tell you what, 1 week from tonight at Judgment Day, in addition to everything we've already mentioned, RVD will go one-on-one with this man, Latino Heat, for that Intercontinental title. That is, if Eddie Guerrero gets past tonight.
Belly-to-back suplex. Eddie Guerrero, such a dynamic, well-rounded individual. And I want to say this, that Eddie Guerrero invented the frog splash, and it was grand larceny perpetrated by RVD. If he can't come up with original moves of his own, he shouldn't even try.
Eddie Guerrero in phenomenal shape since he made his return a few weeks ago. And I tell you what, he is so intense. And
but let's talk about Tommy Dreamer for a second. Tommy Dreamer possessing so much heart, so much determination, but I gotta say, he is so outclassed and outmanned against Eddie Guerrero.
Well, Tommy Dreamer, certainly not the athlete that Eddie Guerrero is. He's gonna have to find some way to offset this offensive onslaught by Eddie Guerrero.
An onslaught is exactly what it is. From the minute this match has started, Eddie Guerrero has been all over Tommy Dreamer.
Folks, throughout the hour, we're going to talk all about Judgment Day. And next Sunday, we're going to be live right here on MTV. Oh, nice body slam by Eddie Guerrero. Live from the side of Judgment Day, the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville's a fine city. Unfortunately, the people that live there aren't so fine.
Oh.
It's home of nitwits, losers, rednecks, morons, imbeciles, idiots.
It's going to be a great night next Sunday at Judgment Day live on pay-per-view. Now, Eddie Guerrero and Tommy Dreamer are both back to their feet. But back real quick to the Hell in a Cell. Triple H, Y2J. Vince McMahon made the match on SmackDown. Said if Triple H didn't accept, he would be terminated. Oh, what a backdrop.
Big backdrop.
Triple H had no choice.
Well, yeah, you know, Triple H, Russian leg sweep. Well, Triple H being the man that he is, I don't think he would turn it down anyway, so I don't think we were in any jeopardy of not seeing the contest.
You got to give Triple H the advantage in this one as Tommy Dreamer runs right into a big elbow by Eddie Guerrero.
Do you? Wait, power slam by Dreamer.
Oh, here's a cover. Hook of the leg. 1, 2, and a kick out by Eddie Guerrero.
Do you have to give him the advantage?
He's been there before.
It's Jericho's idea, and Jericho obviously has plans for this match. He has strategy.
Oh, wait a second. The Death Valley Driver by Tommy Dreamer. Oh, but Eddie Guerrero's able to slip out.
But Tommy Dreamer counters that.
Oh, folks, don't forget the Intercontinental title is on the line. Oh, DDT. DDT by Tommy Dreamer. Will this be enough? Hook of the leg, 2. Oh, and Eddie Guerrero.
Did you see how Eddie Guerrero was able to block it? He somersaulted through. Instead of going flush, going completely flat, Dreamer was not able to drive him straight down, and so Eddie Guerrero blocked part of it. But now Dreamer going up to the top.
Tommy Dreamer in the high rent district, not a place he is accustomed to.
Going for a frog splash of his own, and that was a stupid move.
You couldn't have said it any better.
Brain buster by Eddie Guerrero, and you know what we're going to see now.
Well, Eddie Guerrero going to the top rope. And it's about as pretty as it gets. The frog splash from Eddie Guerrero lands it perfectly, and forget about it.
Look at Dreamer's leg twitching.
Owner of this bout, and still WWE Intercontinental Champion, Eddie Guerrero.
Well, folks, Eddie Guerrero victorious as we kick things off here on Heat. Let's take a look at it one more time. So impressive, Raven.
You see how he hits? You see Dreamer's leg shaking? You see the impact with which he comes down, the velocity and the impact.
He's going to go one-on-one. This man, Eddie Guerrero, 1 week from tonight on pay-per-view at Judgment Day. That Intercontinental title will be on the... We're back. Intercontinental title's on the line here in the main event. Christian and Val Venis. But real quick, Al, what about Gail and Molly? Destroyed Trick for the 2nd week in a row.
Wow, 2 hot chicks with a vendetta. Nothing scarier.
The following contest, scheduled for 1 fall, is for the Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first, from Toronto, Canada, weighing 225 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Christian.
Well, the peeps are in the house.
And you know what? Back to Gail Kim and Molly Holly, there's nothing worse than hot chicks who are focused and are mad.
And what about the fact that Gail and Molly said that this coming Monday night, tomorrow night on Raw, they're going to end Christian's career?
And what about the boss? Gail Kim?
Can't blame Bischoff there.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing 224 pounds, Val Venis.
Well, we know what next Sunday is, baby, because we're all getting ready as Raw presents WWE Unforgiven, sponsored by Natco Soul Calibur 2. Unleash cutting-edge fighting on the PlayStation 2. Get yours right now. Rated T. Unforgiven will be live next Sunday from Hershey, Pennsylvania, exclusively on pay-per-view.
Well, the boss can soon pick up the chicks, unlike yourself using the panel band and the bottle of chloroform.
You know that is not true, and I don't appreciate you saying that, but I'm gonna ignore that because I've got big news, Al. Actually, I'm sorry, we've got big news.
Yes.
Tickets for WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden on March 14th go on sale in just 2 weeks, September 27th. Tickets will be on sale beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, Coach, that's at the Madison Square Garden box office and all New York area Ticketmaster locations, Ticketmaster phone charge, and WWE.com. So there's no excuse. Be sure to get your tickets for this milestone event while they last. For more information, log on to WWE.com.
Big news, baby.
Big.
WrestleMania 20 and Unforgiven, and what else is there right now?
I can't wait until we, the announce team for Raw, are there at WrestleMania calling the matches.
You know what I'm most impressed with is you taking this preparing for Raw very seriously. I mean, the way that you read that and let all the people know where they can get their WrestleMania 20 tickets, it's impressive.
Well, thank you very much. I want to point out, though, I didn't read it. It's called improv. I just took it right off the top of my head.
Right.
Well, what a huge opportunity for the big Val Venis here on Sunday Night Heat. The Intercontinental title's on the line, and Christian has been a man as of late who has felt like he's been getting snubbed by one Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, Christian better pay attention because he may be snubbed right out of the Intercontinental title tonight because Val Venis is not a stranger to that belt.
And maybe after tonight we won't have to hear any more.
He goes for the cover.
We won't have to hear.
Sweeps, goes for the cover.
You are focused. I am so impressed.
Look, block the punch. Val is on the mark tonight. I gotta get it in there. I gotta say what I can say.
I know you do.
Because otherwise you're gonna just cut me off. Val going to the second row.
Body. Here's the cover. Hook and leg 2. Oh, Christian is able to kick out. Well, if Christian does lose here tonight, we won't have to hear any more. Excuse me, Intercontinental Champion here.
That's true. And Coach, if JR and the King lose, and if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass. Anyway, when they lose, we won't have to hear about, hey, I want to see some puppies. JR, I want to see some puppies.
Yeah, in addition to that, and we'll take care of business. I'm not worried about that, but right now, Christian, big shots in the midsection of Val Venis. Your thoughts on will we have a new World Heavyweight Champion when finally Triple H and Goldberg go one-on-one on Christian, hard to the outside.
Christian going for broke, charging at Val Venis. He just stepped aside and let him go right through the ropes, using his own momentum.
And that big smile on the face of the big Val Venis, and Christian embarrassed, humiliated, and Christian doesn't like to be those two things.
Nobody likes to be humiliated. A little bit of a slap to the taste of the mouth. Look, bad move.
Now Val Venis just slamming Christian in the back of his head hard into the mat.
Oh.
Val Venis appears to have come out tonight completely focused out.
Whoa. Man, he's lighting him up. And back to your original question about where we have a
new World Heavyweight Champion. What do you think?
I'll tell you, you'd think that Goldberg's just a shoo-in. His career's on the line. He's so focused and driven any other time.
Covered by Val Venis. Oh, kick out.
He's so driven any other time, but now his career's on the line. But, I mean, Triple H isn't called the best in the game for no reason. He's a choke player. When the pressure's on, he always comes through. But unfortunately, the advantage isn't in the champion's court this time. If he gets counted out or disqualified, which normally counts in the champion's favor, it doesn't because he loses the World Heavyweight title.
Very, very good point. So much at stake for both men and Unforgiven. And right now, after that devastating move by Christian, just torquing the back of Val Venis over the top rope, the Intercontinental Champion is back in control.
And Christian obviously has a definitive strategy. He has been trying from right at the beginning of this match to cut the wind down on Val Venis. Shots to the gut, taking him back, neck breaker, choking him over the rope, all to cut the wind down off Val Venis.
And this could be enough for Christian, but no, a very easy kick out by Val Venis. But you mentioned you got to cut that air out because Val Venis, as well as Christian, are both in tremendous physical condition.
Yeah, and then they cost Christian fooling around a little bit.
Oh, Christian almost cost himself the Intercontinental title.
Surprised me that he would take Val Venis so lightly.
Wait a second, here's the cover, another hook of the leg for Christian, and a kick out by Val Venis.
No need to getting hot at the referee. You're not wrestling him, you're wrestling Val.
Well, Christian continues to hear it from this crowd, his so-called peeps. But Christian has his hands full, and we knew that he would here tonight on Heat as the Intercontinental title was on the line. But you can see how much has been taken out of Val Venis so far in this matchup.
And he's back to doing what he was doing before. Oh, no!
But just like that, when we thought Val Venis had nothing left, able to get out of the way out, we got to pay the bills for one last time. We'll come back to this match right after this. We're back here on Heat. Intercontinental titles on the line. Christian and Val Venis, and Al during the break. Both of these men have taken it to the limit.
Yes, and Christian took a little too much time following up on that one move, Val Venis, and it's been costing him ever since. Val dropped the head. Well, Christian going for the clothesline.
It's slamming Christian down. We could have a new Intercontinental Champion. Oh, Christian kicks out at about 2.5.
Val Venis is shocked. He thought for sure that would put away Christian. Oh, he kicks him off. Hooked him with the small package.
And beautiful small package. The roll by Val Venis again. Can't get it done.
There you go. Spine buster by Val Venis.
Can he get it done this time? No, it can't. Christian at the last second is able to kick out.
Christian just slipping out.
Now it appears like to me that Val Venis realizes how big this matchup is for him because you don't get very many opportunities
to go after a big-time prestigious title here in this company.
Hey, let's face it, every match in WWE is a big-time opportunity, but this one goes off the charts. He's playing for the Intercontinental title.
And Val Venis now going to the high-rent district for the money shot, but Christian is able to get back to his feet.
Stop Val right in mid-stroke.
And you see how much this match has taken out of both men. Both men very, very winded at this point.
Looks like Christian trying to go for a superplex, maybe? He's got him hooked.
You'd have to wonder, Al, if
Val
Christian has enough.
And to answer your question, apparently not.
And now Christian tossed off, and Val Venis back.
Money shot! Oh! Knees to the ribs!
The money shot catches Val Venis in the nether regions, and just like that, Christian catches Val.
He kicked out!
Can you believe that, Al? Can you believe that Val Venis was able to kick out Christian? You can see right there, cannot.
Christian losing it. He's got to stay focused. Don't turn around. It's not the referee you're wrestling. Oh!
Val Venis caught Christian with the elbow, who in turn caught the referee with the elbow. Now Val Venis.
2, 3,
somebody
4.
count. Somebody count.
Christian inadvertently hit the referee, and that helped him out big time.
We should have had a new Intercontinental Champion right there. Instead, this match continues.
Val trying to drag Christian back in the ring. He ducks it. Looks like he's going for the unprettier. Can he get it? He did!
He does nail the unprettier beautifully. Will Christian walk out of here with the very hard-fought victory? And he does, Al.
And
the winner of this bout, and still Intercontinental Champion, Christian!
Hard spots an understatement. Look at Christian. He's dragging his butt out, but he's dragging it with the belt.
Well, folks, we're just 1 week away from Unforgiven, the last Raw tomorrow night before Unforgiven live from Columbia, South Carolina. Oh, baby, Al, you know you and I will be there.
Oh, you know we want to be the last Raw for JR and the King.
You talk about a huge opportunity for this man. Val Venis, a shot at the Intercontinental title right here on Heat.
Scheduled for one fall, it's for the Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing 242 pounds, Val Venis.
How many times do we have to yell at the directors and producers of this show, stop showing ugly shit?
I'm begging you, put a hot one on. Come on, boys.
Holy cow.
Not just find one with a pulse.
Al, it's our faces that are on the front of this show.
Exactly.
It's you and I's reputation that is at stake here.
Exactly.
That's okay. I mean, that's like a 6.
Yeah, you did better. Look it up, though, boys. And tonight, this is Val Venis' chance. He is 3 seconds away from greatness, Coach. Do you realize that? Only 3 seconds, and he could be Intercontinental Champion.
His life could change forever. Anytime he can take out a Randy Orton or a member of Evolution. But you know what? That's just
representing Evolution from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 240 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Randy Orton.
Thank goodness you are blind, because that way it doesn't show on your nose.
You talk about the total package.
Absolutely. I'm not going to deny this guy's got it all. He's got youth. But one thing he doesn't have that Val Venis has that fades over him, experience.
2 weeks ago, takes out Mick Foley at Backlash. And then last Monday night on Raw, another legend, Harley Race.
Oh, yeah, now that touched a nerve with me. The audacity, the ego. I'm all for you putting your mark, you know, making your spot in the business, setting your tone, but you don't spit in the face of your elders.
Ain't like Randy Orton always says, sometimes you have to go out the pasture. Sometimes your time is the root. And apparently it was that time for Harley Race. Well, tonight, Heat is brought to you by Animusha, 3 Demon Seeds, 2 heroes, 1 destiny, only from Qatar.
And by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
And by Stagger 2, YJ Stinger, for that extreme boost of energy, you got to feel the sting.
I don't know, Coach. Maybe it's me, but I thought Harley Race was out to pasture years ago, and he was just there watching the show.
No reason for Randy Orton to be so disrespectful and disgraceful to spit in a man's face like that. A man who has built this business on his back.
Well, I agree. I'm not disrespecting
Unlike me, I have to carry you on my back. Now you got Garrison Cade. Ride him like a mule for a while. Shut up. I'm here. Don't talk.
Here we go. Intercontinental titles on the line.
Thank you.
Randy Orton one-on-one with the big Val Venis. You know how we've talked about Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels tomorrow night as well. But what about 8 days from now? Real quick, we'll touch on it. Eugene. The first match for Eugene 8 days from now against Rob Conway of La Resistance.
And
I don't know what to expect.
I don't either. I don't even know what to say. I can't blame Rob Conway, though, for finally deciding to take Eugene in the ring.
Well, it's been a few weeks, and Eugene continues. Nice takedown by the big Val Venis in control here early on.
It's like the fancy outfits, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band jackets, they seem to attract Eugene.
I don't know what it is, but last Monday night, I will have to say it was very comical.
Yeah.
Eugene setting up the pyro to see JR and the King and Regal jump like that was hysterical.
Yeah, I'm sure they left a brown mark on the old seat that night.
That's the highest I've ever seen JR jump in his career.
And they say white men can't jump.
Well, not JR, not good old JR. No.
He was higher than an NBA player.
Well, Randy Orton now about the big Val Venis starting off very slowly here, just kind of building themselves out here in this Intercontinental title match here on Sunday Night Heat.
Testing each other's balance, footing, timing, trying to see if they can gain an advantage either physically or psychologically here at the beginning of the match over the other one.
You know what impresses me so much about this young Randy Orton from Evolution is the fact that even though he's the youngest member of Evolution, he's a vital member of Evolution with names like Ric Flair, like Triple H, and Batista.
True, he has stepped up. He definitely has stepped up, but let's face it, he does have an advantage. He's a third-generation wrestler. He was born and bred for this sport. His grandfather, his father, they were both great. He has it bred into his genes, and I'm not talking about his Levi's.
You know, I was talking to Randy Orton earlier today in his preparation for this matchup tonight, and he told me that he's just now starting that shoulder block by Randy Orton. He's just now starting to feel.
Beautiful hip block takedown by Val Venis, needing to do something to reestablish himself in this match right at the start. You can't let Randy Orton get too much momentum off at the beginning.
As I was saying, Randy Orton is just now starting to get back to even close to 100% after the beating that he took at the hands of Mick Foley at Backlash.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going to take a while. And you know what, though? It's not just the physical scars, not the physical abuse. It's the mental, the emotional. That'll throw you off your game more than anything else. Now he's got to live with fear because he knows what pain is like.
And now, speaking of pain, the big Val Venis working on that left knee of young Randy Orton, the Intercontinental Champion.
It looks like Val Venis already got a strategy. He's going to try to take out that leg and set him up for that reverse figure four. And Randy is probably realizing this, trying to do everything he can to not let Val establish any momentum on that leg.
You said it earlier, the faster the big Val Venis can end this one, the better chance he has. Only 3 seconds from his career changing forever.
Well, in every single match, let's not forget, every single match, it doesn't matter what match it is, it's only 3 seconds to win or lose. So you don't get paid, like I was trying to explain earlier in the show with your boy Garrison Cade, you get paid by the hour. Get out there, take your 3 seconds, whoop some ass, go home.
If you don't mind me using that piece of advice, the big Val Venis has Randy Orton up and then down.
That's exactly what he's doing. Look, he's going for that reverse figure four, but way too early, way too soon, Val. There's no way you're going to get it on right now.
Randy Orton gets over to that bottom rope, and referee Mike Chioda telling Val Venis he's got to break that hold. If you don't mind me using that advice when I talk to Garrison Cade later tonight, I would appreciate it. Because right now we are a work in progress. We know where we want to go, but we just got to get there.
Well, I tell you what, you were probably going to use the advice anyways and claim it was yours, so feel free. Go right ahead.
Don't flatter yourself.
Yeah, don't flatter yourself.
And now both men on the outside. Val Venis not letting Randy Orton get away from him at all.
And he needs to do that. That could be a difference maker right there.
Big reversals, I think what you wanted to say. We got to take our last commercial break. Folks, this match continues when we come back. We're back here on Heat, Intercontinental title on the line. Randy Orton and the big Val Venis and
during the commercial break, Randy Orton reassumed control of this matchup.
True.
Here's the cover. Hook of the leg, 2-0. And Val Venis able to kick out.
Val Venis has been trying to fight back, but hasn't really been able to get any momentum and mount an offense, or really a reasonable defense against Randy Orton since taking those stairs to the back. And Randy Orton, I got to give him credit, staying focused on what's hurt, going after the same body part. That's the way you make somebody screw. That's the way you make somebody give up.
And now just torquing that lower back of Val Venis. You can see the angst on the face of Randy Orton, and you gotta love that. You gotta love a kid who is confident. You gotta love a kid who just takes his time, methodically, just tears his opponents apart. Shots to the back of the head.
Got him again. This could be it. No. He is just breaking Val Venis down piece by piece. He is just staying on that lower back, on those muscles, and of course the lower back tied into the legs, tied into the lungs. He's not going to be able to breathe well, not get a deep breath. He's not going to be able to run, not going to be able to mount an offense because his legs are going to be like rubber, Coach.
And Val Venis, you can see, barely able to even stay upright in the corner. Now Randy Orton looking for that superplex off that middle rope. We'll see if he's able to nail it. If he does, this one could be over very, very quickly.
Val Venis with some shots to the short ribs on Randy Orton, fighting back vainly. See if he can, yeah, there we go. Now, can he take advantage of it? But he's moving slow. Man, is he moving slow. Oh!
And again, that cannot feel good, I can tell you that.
Nope, there won't be any tea tonight.
And Randy Orton again climbing to that middle rope. He is hell-bent on getting that superplex out off that middle rope.
Yeah, you know, this was a finishing move by his father. His father used this to put away a lot of people. And Randy hurt himself a little bit.
There's the cover. It does look like he hurt himself a little bit. Hook of the leg, 2-0, and Val Venis, about 2.5 count.
He's got
the right shoulder up. Here's again a double hook of the leg. And again, the big Valboski. And Randy Orton thinks he's won the match.
Very smart move by Randy Orton. When you got him down on the mat, don't pick him up to knock him back down. Go for the pin and just keep trying to pin him, because that in itself will wear him out.
Randy Orton walks right into a big-time elbow from Val Venis.
And a boot.
You know, I tell you what, right now, if I'm a betting man, I'd say Val Venis has the advantage.
I think Randy Orton trying to roll off his game for that superplex. Drop toe hold by Val Venis. Rolling up, going right back to the leg. Oh, snap in the knee.
And Val Venis continues to work on that left knee, and you can hear Randy Orton and see the look on the face. That left knee, it could be injured. That ACL could be torn.
And Val, though, the back hurting so much, can't get a full breath, can't take advantage of what he's just done. Hey, he's got it. He's going to go for the reverse figure four.
And now Val Venis,
that's it.
Right smack dab in the middle of the ring, and Randy Orton can see the rope, but out. I don't know if Randy Orton's going to be able to get that.
Oh, we got a new Intercontinental champion. There's no way he's going to be able to make it across the ring. Look at him. He's desperate. He's grabbing for Coyote. He's grabbing for the run. He knows he can't make the run. Put the pressure on him, Val. Put it on him.
About a foot and a half away. You can see the determination on the face of the Intercontinental champion.
Can he do
Randy Orton trying to get to that rope, and now he does. Randy Orton gets to the bottom rope, just like I told you that he would.
Oh, he got it. Val Venis was so close. Look at Val, still in pain.
Val
Look at his
Venis
nose.
that close to being the Intercontinental champion, but right back up on top of Randy Orton.
Oh, look, he went to shoot him off of the ropes, and Randy Orton's leg gave out. You can't put that kind of pressure on a body member without having some kind of effect.
Randy Orton can't even stand up, and he's almost calling for a timeout.
You don't get a timeout. There's no timeout.
Well, if he can't stand up, he can't compete.
That means the match is over, which means that Val Venis wins.
Oh, wait a second! Wait a second! That was brilliant! That was brilliant! The RKO by Randy Orton! And you gotta say, what a genius!
And still, Intercontinental Champion, Randy Orton!
Have to admit, Coach, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You can see his father and grandfather every time he's in the ring.
Well, Randy Orton successful tonight. Who will be successful tomorrow night when Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit get it on in Phoenix, Arizona for the World Heavyweight Championship live on Raw. It's 9 o'clock, 8 Central, of course, right here on Spike TV. Should be one hell of a night in the desert tomorrow.
What you are, Coach?
way to the ring from Orangeburg, South Carolina, weighing 248 pounds. He is the Intercontinental Champion, Shelton Benjamin.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Heat. Of course, I am the coach, and look who is sitting next to me this week. In for Todd Richardson, the one and only good old JR. Welcome to Sunday Night Heat.
Nice, Coach.
I know you're going to be a little bit nervous this week, but I'll try to walk you through it.
Big match atmosphere. This is a great show, even with you on it. Ladies and gentlemen, great main event tonight. Tag team action. Christian and Tyson Tomko, the problem solver, will take on Tajiri and Rhino. Great main event here tonight, plus a lot of big news.
No doubt a great night ahead, and tonight Heat is brought to you by Blade Trinity, starring Wesley Snipes, Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds, and Triple H. In theaters December 8th.
And by WWE SmackDown versus Raw. Two worlds collide on PlayStation 2.
And by Remington Titanium Shavers.
I'll show you. You'll see.
And from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 230 pounds, Stevie Richards.
Well, JR, you mentioned so much to talk about this week, and what a very eventful Raw this past Monday night. And I know you and I had a very front row seat for the entire 2 hours.
It was a very controversial night on Raw. The big question everybody's wondering is, who is the world's heavyweight champion as we speak? Is it Edge or is it Chris Benoit? And, well, we're going to talk more about that in the broadcast, but this is one of the most controversial issues that I can remember addressing in a long time here in the WWE.
You picked a great week to be here on Heat. 4 great matches, tons of superstars. The Intercontinental Champion starts things off. Maybe they knew you were going to show up.
Hey, maybe so. I can tell you this. I always enjoy watching the Intercontinental Champion Shelton Benjamin with the collar and elbow tie up there with Steven Richards. But if you had Steven Richards in your final 6 in a Battle Royal last week, then you're a winner.
Well, you won a lot of money, didn't you?
Because Steven Richards, it shocked me. He survived virtually the entire Raw locker room to make it down to the final 6. He is a rather strange enigma, and certainly Steven Richards would be better served in his style, not Matt Wrestling Shelton Benjamin.
Well, you know, of course, Shelton Benjamin, who he's taking on right now, JR, is the superstar, the man who eliminated Steven Richards this past Monday night. So I think there's going to be some certain issues within the issues in this match, starting things off here on Heat.
It seems as if observing and watching Sunday Night Heat every week that Steven Richards, more often than not, saves his best for Sunday night.
Well, he's the general manager, JR. He runs this show.
That's scary. In any event, armbar
I think so, too.
By Shelton Benjamin. We'll all be wearing pink tights sooner than later. Right hand and referee Earl Hebner. Nice arm drag takedown. And another one by the former All-American high school athlete and college wrestler Shelton Benjamin out of Orangeburg, South Carolina, the University of Minnesota. Here's a guy that was a national heavyweight amateur wrestling champion and ran a 4.240.
You know what's amazing about me when you talk about Shelton Benjamin? You know, we travel a lot all over the country. This is a man, you look at his physique, you look at how athletic he is. JR, he doesn't work out a whole lot. And he's unbelievable. It is amazing.
He's got great genetics, I'll tell you that. He's very much like the great Oklahoma running back Adrian Peterson, the pure freshman. He's got those great genetics.
Now, is Adrian Peterson going to win the Heisman next Saturday? Is it going to happen?
I never know. I think a freshman should win it if he's earned it. Armbar takedown again. Shelton Benjamin controlling the action here. And here's an Intercontinental Champion. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see this get better and better as time goes on. You watch the focus on the shoulder there. Shelton's not going from the shoulder to the ankle to the head. He's learning focus in the ring. His in-ring skills as a pro are certainly catching up with his great amateur skills.
Wouldn't you say, in your opinion, he's probably one of the greatest athletes, one of the greatest pure athletes that you have ever seen in your time? I can't imagine one that would be better.
One without a doubt, and Steven Richards certainly must sense that as well, because Richards sort of throwing the old rule book. I've never seen the rule book. Throwing the rule book out the window. And Richards is utilizing the referee's count there. Here referee Earl Hebner count. And Richards is breaking on 4 because Richards would be disqualified on 5, a mark of a veteran.
Well, you mentioned Steven Richards saving his best for Sunday Night Heat. It was just a couple of weeks ago, JR, that he had an unbelievable match with Chris Jericho, Y2J, who incidentally...
Oh, look out here. Here we go. The cover and near fall created by the unorthodox style of this enigma, Steven Richards.
Who incidentally will be the general manager tomorrow night live on Raw. We're going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And JR, Chris Jericho promises all of us the biggest party ever on Raw. I don't know what he means by that.
Well, Charlotte's a great city, I'll tell you that. I spent a lot of time in Charlotte, and knowing how much Chris Jericho likes to party, I got to believe that Raw's going to be a very extraordinary night tomorrow night. And suplex attempt and a counter into another counter. Benjamin landed on his feet, and then Richards quickly felt it and went right into the neck breaker. Very smart move by Steven Richards.
No doubt Steven Richards. Vince McMahon said, can you imagine him as the World Heavyweight Champion? Maybe not, but there is no disputing the fact that he can compete with anybody on any given night.
Richards continues to choke away at Shelton Benjamin. That's, as they say, robbing the athlete of his fuel, the oxygen, in other words. And snap hair takeover by Richards. And Richards, now with a neck vice, has kept Benjamin in a real defensive position the last few moments of this match.
Well, I think Steven Richards is taking the opportunities the last few weeks that he's been given, and these matches that he's been given against upper echelon type of talent, type of superstars, and using it to his advantage. Now you look at Steven Richards and you don't think pushover any longer.
No doubt about that. And folks, if you watched Raw last week and were as wrapped up in the controversy as we were being there live, we're going to address the situation a little bit later tonight. We're going to show you what happened, let you make your own assessments.
Have you ever been as confused as you were going up there last Monday night?
Well, not sober.
That's a very good point.
Not since my younger days. And Richards and Benjamin now exchanging the right hands. And this, I started to say, might be a path that Richards wants to follow, but I'm not so sure of that, as Richards goes downstairs, not once but twice, and Benjamin fights right back out of it.
Well, certainly conditioning is not an issue in this match. These two men in excellent condition, so they can go as long as they need to.
I'll tell you, those vignettes of Shelton Benjamin's growing up, his upbringing, certainly eye-opening in my estimation. He certainly wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he's taking it to the streets here with Steven Richards in that right hand, really connected in the clothesline. Look at the quickness, and Richards quickly able to kick out. But Benjamin, quicker than a hiccup here, Coach. Keeping the pressure on Richards. That's what the mark of a great offensive-minded competitor is.
And you talk about how much he is learning as a pro, and you're seeing it right here.
Another cover, and Richards again, as Coach pointed out, has good cardiovascular conditioning, able to get off his back in a hurry there. Shelton Benjamin, who in one article I read said he grew up idolizing Sting and watching Ric Flair as a youngster growing up in South Carolina.
Well, you can see a lot of Sting in Shelton Benjamin as far as his in-ring style is concerned.
Here's yeah, no doubt about that. That splash Benjamin does in the corner, certainly a trademark there, but now Benjamin has the crowd, this huge crowd behind him. The momentum seems to be building in favor of the Intercontinental Champion. A lot of people like a shot at the Intercontinental Champion here down the road, no doubt. Oh, look out here, the T-bone suplex. And as quickly as that, this competitive match has ended.
Here is your winner, Shelton Benjamin.
You talk about continuing that road of success. Shelton Benjamin certainly doing that. And heading into the new year, heading into 2005, this guy, JR, you would have to say would have to be a guy that is definitely on the rise.
I've seen a lot of great Intercontinental Champions in my 30-year career. This kid has a chance to be one of the best.
No stopping me, no!
Well, it was no doubt a hell of a show in Japan last Monday, and we're all set for what promises to be a hell of a main event, Coach.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first, from Orangeburg, South Carolina, weighing in at 248 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, I will say this, that Orangeburg, South Carolina is a long way from Japan. I don't know if Shelton Benjamin ever thought he would make it this far. Here he is, the Intercontinental Champion.
Well, Raw and SmackDown present WWE WrestleMania 21, sponsored by Snickers Cruncher. Make it happen with Snickers Cruncher. WrestleMania will be live Sunday, April 3rd from the sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles, California.
Man, it's going to be great getting out to L.A., WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
Introducing the challenger from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 244 pounds, Val Venis.
Well, I'm just going to say this. My cell phone does not work in Japan, but yet somehow Val Venis was able to call my hotel room to ask the coach if maybe I had an extra little Japanese honey for him while he was over here because he couldn't get any himself.
Really? How did you do with the Japanese women?
I had a couple, but I was using them myself. I said, what could I do? I did. So now Val Venis, he needed to sleep anyway because now he has a chance to leave Japan, a place that Val Venis has been to before in his career, but has a chance to leave now, the Intercontinental Champion.
Well, Coach, I think I speak for not only America, but the entire world when I say every woman wants you and every man wants to be you.
You know, that may be the first thing I've absolutely agreed with in a long, long time.
Well, Coach, we've got a title match right here in front of us, the Intercontinental Championship, Shelton Benjamin versus Val Venis. And how about that World Heavyweight Championship match, Triple H beating Edge, and then afterwards Batista staring up at the title with envy, with what would you describe it as?
I think envy is a very, very good word.
Purpose?
First, I want to focus on Edge and say that Edge, in my opinion, got somewhat screwed in Japan. A valiant effort on the part of Edge. But then with that shot with Batista, looking at the title, and now you really start to wonder, does Batista really want to go over to SmackDown and become the WWE Champion? Or stay here and take on Triple H at WrestleMania 21?
Well, you could tell Triple H noticed what Batista was looking at as well, and you've got to wonder what is going through the mind of the cerebral assassin. Does he really want him on SmackDown? Does he really want to face Batista at WrestleMania for that World Heavyweight Championship? Only time will tell.
Well, Coach, I know. How many days are we from WrestleMania? I mean, it's under 60 now. I mean, that's amazing that we are less than 2 months away.
Coach, to be precise, we are 49 days away from WrestleMania.
I was just trying to see if you paid attention to yourself earlier in the show.
Shelton Benjamin with a quick cover there. And what an opportunity here for Val Venis, Coach. Can he steal this title away from Shelton in the land of the rising sun?
You know, I was talking to Val Venis a couple of weeks ago, and he was so excited about the opportunity to come back to Japan because Val Venis has always loved competing in Japan, and a lot of these guys do. I think very few fans here in the United States especially, or in the United States, excuse me, understand what a privilege it is to compete in Japan.
Well, Shelton Benjamin, give credit where credit is due. Shelton has been a fighting champion ever since he won that Intercontinental title, taking it away from Chris Jericho.
But being that fighting champion may come back to haunt Shelton Benjamin, because think about it, as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania, all the champions, everybody in those good positions now have to start to, I don't want to say protect that position, but you obviously want to be on the card. And if you're not the Intercontinental Champion, your chances of being at WrestleMania 21, they start to get slimmer and slimmer.
Everybody wants to be under the bright lights that we like to call WrestleMania. It will take place at the sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles, California.
Hey, we're going to be there.
3rd.
We're going to be there.
We'll be there.
You know this.
And Coach, who knows, maybe you'll be up for a title shot. Excuse me, Shelton Benjamin still taking on Val Venis here in Japan. And Venis, a back body drop there delivered by Shelton Benjamin.
I'm not going to bring up my statistics from the Royal Rumble.
Oh, we talked all about him last week on Sunday Night Heat, trust me. Now look at this, Shelton Benjamin delivering several drop kicks, but then, whoa, Venis dropping the hammer with that big clothesline. And now Venis off the rope, and look at this, Shelton Benjamin. Look at that, up and over goes Val Venis. This match continues. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to Heat. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Shelton Benjamin having trouble with Val Venis, Coach.
Well, yeah, during the break, Val Venis doing his best to get off the mat and get back into this match. But you can see now both men have taken an absolute beating. But that's what happens when the Intercontinental Championship is on the line.
Well, right now, Shelton Benjamin trying to regain his wits after Val Venis tossed him aside over that second rope. And Val Venis getting his breath back as well.
Well, Val Venis is doing the smart thing, realizing that if he goes outside of the ring, there's no way you can defeat Shelton Benjamin out there. You wait for the champion to get back to the ring, and now doing the smart thing, getting right on top of Mr. Benjamin.
Unless, of course, Shelton Benjamin was counted out, and then you could beat him.
Well, you could beat him, but you wouldn't become champion.
True.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
That's why you're a professional. And right now, Val Venis has Shelton Benjamin in big trouble here. Could this be the night of a major upset on Sunday Night Heat? Val Venis going for that Intercontinental Championship, which Shelton Benjamin has not relinquished since he first took it away from Y2J.
And this would put Val Venis in a position to command a match at WrestleMania 21.
Well, certainly the Intercontinental Champion will be at WrestleMania. Will Val Venis be that man? Right now it looks like he will be. Shelton Benjamin in all kinds of trouble.
You got to love the fact that he's a fighting champion, but also you got to think that Shelton Benjamin may want to be too much of a fighting champion.
Benjamin off the rope. Venis going low, setting up the neck breaker, and he delivers it. He's going to go for the cover, Coach. Will this be it? 1, 2, no! So close. And the crowd here sitting in reverent silence. They're shocked as well.
And you talk about matches that could change a career. This match could change the career and the career path of Val Venis. And this crowd, I think you're right. They don't know how to react to this situation.
Well, right now, Val Venis has Shelton Benjamin in a place that he does not want to be. Benjamin looking a little bit fatigued, looking beat up, and Val Venis, Coach, could travel have played a factor? I mean, coming all the way over here.
Well, I really don't think so, because we've been over here for several days now, so I think you're really adjusted to the time difference and the day difference, really. You know, but this is a situation where you have to suck it up, and unlike Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, you got to deliver in a pressure situation.
Oh, a side Russian leg sweep from Val Venis. That sends the champion down, but does it send him out? Another hook in the leg. Oh, another close, near fall from Val Venis, who's given it all he's got.
Well, referee Mike Chioda, he may have some jet lag and some fatigue, because that may have been the slowest count that the coach has ever seen.
Let's be honest, Coach, Val Venis has been looking for a signature win the last couple of months, and boy, would this be it, an Intercontinental Championship win on Sunday Night Heat.
Hey, let's be honest, he's been looking for a signature win for the last couple of years. This one would be monumental in the career of Val Venis. That's not being an understatement.
Wow,
or an overstatement.
Shelton Benjamin doing all he can to get out of that hold, and he was able to do it, and it stuns Val Venis, at least momentarily.
Well, you can see the tremendous shape that both of these men are in, so fatigue, in my opinion, is not a factor.
Oh, look at that! Shelton Benjamin, a spinning heel kick, sends Val Venis down, and the big Valboski may not get up. Shelton, basically out of necessity, came up with something to turn this match around, and it came in the form of a spinning heel kick.
And you gotta wonder if the first man that gets up right here will have the advantage.
Both men up on their feet. Who's gonna have more left? It's gonna come down to perhaps who wants it more, Coach. Will it be Shelton, the champion, or the challenger, Val Venis? Benjamin, a couple of chops, and now some right hands. Venis staggering back to the ropes now. Oh, and a straight right sends Val down. And now a clothesline. The crowd beginning to get fired up behind Shelton Benjamin.
Do you notice how much different O's sound in Japanese? I think it's spelled different, too.
With 2 dots on top of it,
I think so.
Look at this, Benjamin on that top rope. Going high, bringing Val down. Look at that clothesline. Will this be the end? No! Val Venis.
You know, I would love to see it. I'd love to see it one more time.
Look at the elevation.
Such a great athlete and never injures himself when he lands like that. That's amazing to me.
Well, with Val Venis able to kick out, hold everything, Coach. A spine buster. No! Wait, was that a 3 count?
Well, it was nearly a 3 count, and Val Venis has come so close so many times in this match to becoming the Intercontinental Champion.
How about Val Venis able to kick out of that flying clothesline and then deliver a spine buster and nearly steal the victory? Another spine buster. Will this be the end for Shelton Benjamin?
Well, why isn't Val Venis covering Shelton Benjamin, instead going out to the upstairs to try to deliver a yen shot?
Nice. It's the money shot. Oh, no. Benjamin lifts his knees at the last second, and Val Venis is now in a world of hurt.
And that would have painted the end of that picture for Shelton Benjamin, but saves himself.
Well, now Val Venis doesn't know where he is, but he's about to get a T-bone suplex. Delivered, well done, from Shelton Benjamin, who defends his title.
Here's your winner, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Shelton Benjamin.
Well, we got to get on an airplane. We're heading for Cincinnati, Ohio, live tomorrow night for Raw. Thank you to everybody in Japan trip it's been, kid.
What a trip it has been. We'll see you tomorrow night from Cincinnati, Ohio. For the coach, I'm Todd Grisham. Thanks for watching Sunday Night Heat.